Ladies, gentlemen, non-binaries, and everyone living in 2022, your prince is here! Hello there, and Vastalord Fighter says, yo, sup, Zola? Hey, good to see you. Hello there, Vastalord Fighter. And Dominy's already here in the chat as we speak here, so yeah. Whew! Hope everybody is doing well, hope everybody's doing A-okay. Having a good time so far this Friday. Happy Friday to you all. Spoke of real, DTS says, only here by proxy. Yep, only here by proxy. Okay, alright, let's see. Hope you all are having a good day so far, and... Nero, why is Nero here? Is Nero in the chat? Yes. And I'm talking about Nero, not Nero from Devil May Cry, Nero from Fate Extra. So yeah, the one who is doing that meme is Nero. So the one that goes Hashire sori yo kaze no yo ni tsuki mihara wo padoru padoru. Might as well be saving that for Christmas. And it's already too late for Christmas in July because we're already past December 25. Anyways, moving on now. Let's continue with more Genshin, shall we? Let us continue with more Genshin. And oh my god, Vastalord Fighter is now following. Thank you so much. I'm in Stream Raiders. I have to do lots of killing to complete quest objectives. Ah, yes. Stream Raiders, of course. Alright, shall we move on to the main room? Shall we, so we can continue? I have been thinking of renaming that in my OBS. The scene name, I mean. Mihoyo, tech otakus that saved the world. So, yeah. Anyways, little bit, had a bit of a tip. Does it look like I care if it's X-Smash? No, I don't think so. I don't think so, Domini. Yeah. Not sure, but let's see what we could do here with Genshin now. So, yeah. I had run into a little bit of a major problem with on Discord. If you know what happened on Discord, but fortunately it's okay. Song still hits though. Yes. The song still hits. It's in the tune of Jingle Bells, but you know. But yeah, even when it's not Xmas, of course. Okay, we got the game started. We can get ready to move to Inazuma in a few seconds. Or within a minute or so. Depending on the loading time, of course. Okay, loading. It has Pyro, it has Hydro, Animo, Electro, then Dendro fully loaded, and then comes Cryo, and the last to load is Geo. Why do people remove Christ from Christmas with an X? Also, grabs a sock full of rocks and throws it at ow! Come on! Okay. Let me switch the audio because for some reason Paimon loves that. They seem to be keeping the mass, so it's not like they're taking it away from church. And yes, I'm still at adventure rank level 35 and war level 3, and I can't do the ascension right now because my character right now, my squad is underpowered for the moment. All right, so let us begin our trek to Inazuma. That way we can go on a quest for more goodies. Everybody seems to associate Christmas with the letter X now, even though Christmas starts with a C. Christmas, Christmas, Christmas. We're already in August right now, so 4 months from now. 4 months from now. Until my in-law birthday comes. Yeah, I know. If you've been looking on Twitter, you know that my in-law birthday, us Cronians, especially Cronian reincarnates, we have 2 birthdays. We have 2 birthdays as Cronian reincarnates in my lore. So yeah, your prince not only has 1 birthday but 2. So it's not just you get to keep your past life birthday, but also you get to let's see. You have what is known as a reincarnation day, which also doubles as your in-law birthday. Okay, so we have to talk to Atsuko. Prince, my calendar says July 29. Did your calendar change the days, months, and... Oh, sorry, I thought we were in August right now, so it's 5 months from now. Sorry. I don't know what I don't know why I'm saying when I said... I don't know what I was thinking when I said that. Anyways, let's talk to Atsuko.
Oh. Hello. Oh, I mean good fortune, right? I'm still learning to talk like a local.
No worries.
Is there anything I can help you with?
We wanted to ask, how do we get into INAZUMA?
We know that INAZUMA is a closed country, so... And you know that you, left INAZUMA's, but... How is it possible to actually get into this country?
Oh, so that's why you're here. Well, there is a way.
Does it involve paperwork? It does, doesn't it?
Great! We came to the right person!
But the chance of success is incredibly small.
Ah, a lot of paperwork then. Damn it.
Huh. Incredibly small? Then how did you get out of INAZUMA in the first place?
Does she have work visa?
It was in leaving INAZUMA that I found out just how dangerous this method truly was.
Ah.
All I had to rely on was a little wooden raft that I'd put together myself. There was a storm raging ahead of me, and my pursuers were close on my tail.
Whoa.
After I'd escaped their clutches, I floated on the open ocean for I don't know how many days. My rations and fresh water supply soon ran out,
Whoa.
and I remember getting to the point where I was sure I'd reached the end. Then I blacked out. But to my surprise, my journey didn't end there. Or to put it another way, a new beginning found me.
Whoa, wait a minute. Oh my god, just subscribed. That's amazing. Even though it's unnecessary, even though it's not required, many thanks. Many thanks. Thank you so much for the subscribe. Thank you for subscribing to your prince. You don't need... Thank you so much. Remember, subscribing is a paper be lurking in the smallest of places. Could be. Paperwork be lurking in the smallest of places. Yes, indeed. And once again, oh my god, thank you once again for the subscribing. Thank you so much. You're not required to do that, but many thanks. I appreciate it all the same. No problem. I appreciate it all the same. So no problem. Let's move on. Anyways, did someone from Liyue save you?
That's right. I escaped by the skin of my teeth. The fact that I'm even alive to tell the tale must be a sign that the gods were watching over me.
What a horrible journey! And you set off knowing how dangerous it was? Why?
Well, because everything is just too restrictive over there. The atmosphere is so stifling. The Kanjo Commission subjects everyone leaving or entering the nation to a protracted approval process, and I felt like I didn't belong there.
Ah, so it's not just paperwork. It's also screening.
Kanjo Commission? What's that?
Along with the other 2 commissions, they oversee everything in INAZUMA. We usually collectively refer to them as the Tri-Commission. I suppose they're equivalent to the 8 trades of Liyue Qixing.
The 8 trades under Liyue Qixing.
One of the obligations of the Kanjo Commission is to conduct rigorous identity checks on all individuals leaving or entering INAZUMA. All non-nationals are processed centrally on Rito upon arrival.
Aw, man. This is definitely immigration stuff.
Meanwhile, the Tenryo Commission is responsible for implementing the recently promulgated Vision Hunt Decree. They act like the executive arm of the Raiden Shogun's rule. Loyal, yet unfeeling.
Ah, so is there security division?
It doesn't feel good to speak ill of my home like this. But after spending so long under that oppressive atmosphere, I begin to lose all hope for the future.
So you left your home country for good reason.
What I mean to say is, unless you have an extremely compelling reason to go to Inazuma, you should abandon your plans of trying to get there.
No. We have compelling reasons to go there.
You should know that the sea around Inazuma is engulfed in a perpetual tempest of wind and rain. Supposing you survived that, you would still need to get past the samurai guards that enforce the Sakoku Decree, the closed nation policy of Inazuma. And even if you did manage to find a way, you'd still have to produce the necessary documentation at the Rito Center for processing Outlanders. Otherwise, you'd be kicked out immediately.
Seems like they really don't want anyone setting foot in Inazuma, huh?
But they have Rito. Rito?
They only set that up as a port to guarantee a supply of goods and information to the island. Most Outlanders would be unable to acquire the documentation needed. But if you really are set on going, there is one thing you could try.
The raft idea sounds a little on the dangerous side. Plus, Paimon would definitely get seasick.
Yeah, the raft idea wouldn't make sense anyways. Besides, speaking as a Cronian wingman, I could basically just fly over there without having to utilize a vehicle or transport. I can use my wings to just fly on over there. Oh wait, are the guards over there? Do the guards have anti-air systems? If the guards have anti-air systems, then it will be troublesome, like AA guns, SAMs, and flak cannons. If they have any of these weaponry, I know this is Genshin, but if they have these type of weaponry reminiscent of that stuff, then just because you can't fly the distance doesn't mean it would be too far for Paimon's wings. Hey, Paimon is floating, so Paimon doesn't have wings, so I'll be carrying both Aether and Paimons. I'll be carrying them both and taking them with me, alright? I'll be carrying them both and taking them with me. So yeah, and the best part is, it's a free flight. The only downsides are no seatbelts, no in-flight entertainment, and no snacks. Oh, scratch that. Well, it's not showing in my model, but if you looked at my new character sheet, you would notice that I have a backpack. You are not going to have as much strength against the trade winds that way. Oh, I'll find a way. Sometimes you have to be the wind. Anyways, moving on.
That's not what I meant. You could ask someone from the Crux Fleet if they have some way of getting you to Inazuma. They're well known in Liyue.
Crux Fleet. I do remember someone by the name of Beidou, but...
Voyaging far and wide has made them a well-traveled group with a wide range of experiences. They may just know how to break through the storm.
You're right. Paimon's sure Beidou of all people will be able to get us there. Her crew is super strong.
Agreed. Yes, I was right. Beidou, that's right.
But Paimon wonders if she'll be willing to take the risk.
Well, let's give it a shot. If she says no, then fine. We'll do it some other way.
The Alcor is the flagship of the Crux Fleet. I
I
heard
heard
that it's
about
currently
that.
anchored by Guyun Stone Forest on a supply run. This might be your best chance.
Then there's no time to lose. Let's go find Captain Beidou.
You know, Paimon's English dialogue is different from the actual dialogue, the actual subtitles. This has not happened. This has happened before in some games that I know. I think I lost. I think I don't recall. I think I recall that Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 does have that sometimes. Okay. Ah, yes, I remember heading to the Alcor many times before. Oh, we could just simply teleport there. That's right. We've been to the ship before, so we have a good idea on what to expect. If Beidou says no, then the only option is for me to take Paimon and Aether and fly over there.
Can't catch me.
Oh, if it isn't the Traveler and Paimon.
Hey there.
I knew you guys would come.
Paimon? What a fascinating being. You two give off not only the essence of wind and earth, but also of... yes, the stars.
Stars? How did you know?
Huh? The fragrance of what now? That's
Fragrance
the
of
weirdest
stars?
compliment Paimon's ever heard.
How does he know about the stars? How does he know?
Pay it no heed. I mean only to say I am certain that it is by fate, not chance alone, that we should meet. And that gives our encounter meaning.
Is this guy a bard by any chance?
You're not far off, but they go by a different name in Inazuma.
Oh.
I prefer other means of entertainment. This young man is Kaidahara Kazuha, a temporary addition to my crew for reasons I won't bore you with. Occasionally, he opens his mouth and flowers come out instead of words.
Hold on, speaking of Kazuha, I already acquired that character through my wishes. I'll show them to you later.
With this fine ship and the soft sea breeze, would it not be romantically irresponsible of me not to acknowledge it with a line or two of poetry?
Wow, poetic.
No, I can't argue with that. Okay then. Once the clash is underway, I'll give you a chance to perform.
Only if the mood takes me, of course. Poetry for poetry's sake tends to lack meaning.
Hey, you don't want to pass this opportunity up too easily, especially seeing as our great hero here might be in attendance.
Oh, wait a minute. What's the clash? Also, just to clarify, by great hero, do you mean...
Aether, right?
Huh? I thought you might be here to sign up. You're telling me you've never even heard of it?
No idea.
The Crux Clash is a martial arts tournament that I hold. There'll be a whole bunch of folks taking part to showcase their talents.
Ah.
There are two important rules. One, competitors must be renowned fighters. We want those with real martial arts ability, not just people taking part for the fun of it.
Gotcha.
So, you've got nothing to worry about there. I don't think there's anyone out there who hasn't heard of you. Two, you can't take part if you've got a vision. Otherwise, things get a little one-sided.
Well, if it helps, I don't have a vision either, and neither does Aether. So...
You must be feeling confident, but you might want to watch out. There are a few crouching tigers and hidden dragons lurking around in Liyue.
I bet.
And with Liyue's savior taking part in the tournament, now that's gonna turn a few heads. I think we can expect a healthy turnout this time.
But we didn't come here to take part in a martial arts tournament.
Well, before you dismiss the idea completely, you might be interested to hear that the prize this time round is particularly sought after.
What's the price?
Get this. It's a masterless vision.
A masterless vision.
Supplied by myself, as a matter of fact. If the tournament champion can reawaken that vision, it belongs to them.
Ah. So...
Is there really such thing as a masterless vision?
When a vision bearer dies, the light in their vision will fade away. But the shell that housed that light remains. As for whether this shell has any practical application, well, this remains to be seen. But my intuition tells me that while it remains in the world, it may just be possible for someone else to inherit it.
Ah, it sounds similar to the Death Note. So if the first user of the Death Note is gone, then it's up to the next user to carry on the task.
Yep. And the way I see it, a vision is a badge of recognition from the gods. So if anyone's able to rekindle it, it's gotta be an individual of exceptional strength and talent.
A vision's a badge of recognition from the gods. Well, in that case, then Aether would have it. Because speaking as a Cronian, I don't think it will work because A Cronian is basically a kin of a deity. So being that I am technically a deity, a part of his unit, a part of his team, so technically I won't be able to use a vision, but he could use the masterless vision.
Organizing the clash is my way of uncovering hidden talents. And hopefully this time, getting a vision to glow again. So if you don't have a vision, this is the perfect opportunity to get your hands on one of your very own.
To be honest, I'm not interested. Are you sure about that, Aether?
Yeah, we're interested in getting to Inazuma, not fighting in some tournament.
Inazuma? You want to go there?
Well, why didn't you say so? Inazuma, no sweat.
Are you sure?
In that case, if you win the tournament, I'll give you a choice. Masterless Vision, or a ticket to Inazuma aboard the Alcor. Up to you.
Oh, okay. New winning conditions.
You just want him to take part in your tournament.
Let me guess. Hold on. This is some sort of assessment, right? If this is an assessment, fine, bring it on.
What's wrong with that? The more talent we have, the better the tournament will be. I couldn't let a competitor like you fall through the net.
I knew it. It's an assessment. It's definitely an assessment.
What are we gonna do? Looks like we pretty much have to do this tournament if we want to get to Inazuma, huh?
Well, let's give this a shot.
Great. Then let's get you signed up. Head to the tournament arena in Guyun Stone Forest. Kazuha and I will be over soon.
Gotcha.
It seems like it will only be a matter of time before the answer is revealed.
Okay. Our next step, head to the arena. That place. Gotcha. Okay, so we'll teleport here. So yeah, it looks like we're gonna have to be participating in the tournament. We're gonna have to participate in this tournament if we are to head to Inazuma. Fortunately, Beidou doesn't mind it, but only if we had to go through the tournament first. Let's go, let's go.
Can't catch me.
Woo! Star Conch. Ooh, crab. We'll need some tasty crab soon. Okay, let's see. Let's just
Can't
climb.
catch me.
Whoa. It lit up. That means there must be, it just lit up. You saw that in the map, right? It could be, Animocula, Geoculi. I hope I said that right. Let's see, is it down here? Is it down there? Let's see. Maybe if I go up there. Woo! Recharge. Yep, I knew it. It's up there. I knew it. Stone Arena. Just over there. Just over yonder. Whoop.
Before we sign up, let's see who the other competitors are.
I see.
Beidou
Let's do our
said
own
that
assessment.
they had to be renowned fighters. Who will we be up against?
All right. Let's go and talk to them.
Hello, are you here to compete in the Crux Clash?
You bet I am. Have you put your names down yet?
Not yet.
Well, I'd have a look at the entrance criteria if I were you. Then it'll allow just anyone to take part. The Clash is a comprehensive test of fighting ability. Anyone who turns up for show over skill is gonna get their butt handed to them. Nobody wants to see that, right?
I see. Valiant fighters. They want actual fighters, not show-offs. Gotcha.
Yeah, we heard a rule about that. So, Paimon's wondering, are you a renowned fighter?
What experience you have?
Me? Only a former runner-up in the Tsuhu Rock Freestyle Combat Summit. Oh yeah.
Former?
Aha! Also, that doesn't sound like the most official tournament out there.
Yeah, something's a bit fishy off that.
What? You... Nonsense. Have you been living under a rock? It's been going on for years. There were plenty of competitors when I took part.
I'm not aware of that, sorry.
Not to mention, I've helped the Millilith catch treasure hoarders before. There were 2 of them trying to escape. I soon sorted them out. They tried to sneak past me under the cover of darkness. They didn't know what hit them. I planted a left hook on the skinnier one's face and sent him flying. Then, the big guy pulled out a knife. I stood my ground, of course. A roundhouse kick sent the blade hurtling into a beam above us.
Roundhouse kick sent the blade hurtling into a beam above. Sounds, impressive.
I told you. Unarmed, outnumbered 2 to 1, but I still got the upper hand. I'm not saying I came out completely unscathed, of course, but the fact remains that I did manage to subdue the both of them, and hand them over to the Millilith. I received quite the commendation. Oh yeah.
Just between you and me, Chad, something tells me he's not legit. Something tells me he's not legit. He's not a legit fighter. He ain't a legit fighter. He's not a legit fighter. Just between you and me, okay? Sounds like another show-off if you ask me, okay? Cuckoo, cuckoo.
Uh-huh. But for us, even 4 or 5 treasure hoarders at a time is all in a day's work.
Thanks for letting us know anyways.
Mm-hmm. Alright, we're gonna keep looking around.
I'll see you in the arena, but I don't plan on losing to a pair of children anytime soon.
Kids, really? You're talking to an adult here. So yeah, sometimes I self-insert, sometimes I don't. Let's go. Okay, let's see, it's this one, right?
Hi there, are you here for the Crux Clash too?
That's right. Nothing beats real-life combat for honing your skills. That's what our master taught us. But this tournament is more than just a chance to put training into practice. It's also a chance for us to obtain the masterless vision.
Exactly. With a vision, we'd quickly become our master's top students.
This master of yours must be pretty incredible, huh? Are they someone famous?
Famous? He's the founder of the Lingshan clan, and his skills are unparalleled. Liang and I are both proud disciples of his.
Wait, considering the timeline when Sis started acting in the world, he's older than most of the adults in the world. Okay, but the Lingshan clan? I'm not aware of the Lingshan clan.
You probably wouldn't have heard of it. It was founded quite recently. The clan is nowhere near as famous as the master himself anyway. He's got to be a grand master or something. He's created many different styles of kung fu, and countless other clans have borrowed extensively from him. To the Lingshan clan, he teaches a special technique known as force dispersal.
Force dispersal?
It's a type of breathing exercise where you can train yourself to harness the energy around you and neutralize attacks without moving an inch.
Wait a minute. Are these guys Hamon practitioners? Are these Hamon practitioners? Or Ripple or Sendo? Either of the 3, you are not incorrect. Are these guys Hamon practitioners? Because they say breathing exercise where you can train yourself to harness the energy around you. So anything goes. Is it Ramna 1/2 key techniques? No, something more like it's more like Hamon. It's like Hamon from or Sendo from JoJo. It's Sendo energy. Sendo ripple energy.
For example, our master can use it to alter the path of an attacking fist, or change the direction of an incoming stone, all without breaking a sweat.
Is the master by any chance, has he taught it that, is the master by any chance the same master who taught that to Zeppeli?
One time, he sent a challenger flying into the air without lifting a finger.
Wait a minute. Automods, I got this. Okay. JoJo has idiots who gain energy by sticking their own spirits up their asses. Hey. Don't make fun of the JoJo fanbase. So Trust me, you don't want to get angry at the JoJo fanbase. He sent Challenger flying to the air without lifting a finger. Okay, I'm not sure if that's possible for Hamon users to do that.
It sure is, but it's extremely difficult to cultivate this ability. We've been training for ages and we're still getting to grips with the very basics. There's no way we could use it proficiently yet.
We're clearly not that naturally gifted, or we would have at least gotten the gist by now. If we don't start making progress soon, we'll probably run out of money to pay the tuition fees and still have nothing to show for all our training.
There's a tuition fee?
Of course! This is a Grand Master we're talking about here. He doesn't have time to waste. If you want face-to-face training, you've got to show you're sincere about it.
But here we are, having trained under him directly all this time without even a hint of improvement. Master is getting increasingly impatient with us. Recently, though, we heard that a Vision Bearer joined the Guhua clan and made pretty much instant progress in their training.
Sounds like a rivalry.
So, if we can get our hands on a Vision too, maybe we can finally make our master proud.
Well, a vision alone won't make you any better at martial arts, you know.
Well, we have to try something new. Otherwise, we're stuck in the same situation.
Exactly. It can't hurt to try. And if it turns out it does work, the Lingshan clan will go down in history. Folks will come from far and wide. Heck, we could even become the dominant martial arts clan in all of Liyue.
Can't fault you two for trying.
See you in the arena.
All right. Unlike the last guy, these two do seem to have some guts, but I don't know. I don't know. It just feels odd trying to, you know, face them. Oh, you here.
Hey, youngster. Are you here for the Crux Clash too? If so, seems I found myself another new adversary.
So you're also here for the tournament?
You better believe it. I wouldn't be here if I didn't think I could walk away as a champion. For me, obtaining a vision is the final and most important piece in the puzzle that is my life.
Let me guess, an up-and-coming adventurer?
No. It's not about what I want to do. This is about who I want to be. I am looking to become a perfect person. I know how that sounds, but let me explain. I've lived a successful life so far, without any setbacks. I've passed every exam I've ever taken, enjoyed numerous successful business ventures, and seem to get on with just about everyone socially. In most people's eyes, I am already the very embodiment of the perfect person. Though, of course, I'd never let the praise get to my head. I know I haven't reached perfection yet, because there's one thing I'm still missing.
Does it involve ingesting androids? Oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god. That was a perfect Cell reference. That was a Cell reference from Dragon Ball Z. Oh my god. Sorry. What was that?
Vision.
I knew it.
You have so much self-confidence.
Let's see. Are you a renowned fighter by any chance?
That's not important. I have a contact in the Crux fleet who was happy to vouch for me. So they very kindly made special arrangements on my behalf.
Maybe it requires nanomachines, but some say the Borg sounds Swedish. No, I don't think Armstrong is in this. Little too late for an Armstrong joke there, Spoka. Special arrangements, so you got that through connections.
I've also brought along a bit of an entourage for moral support. It's such a blessing, really, to have so many good friends in my neighborhood. Of course, I also put in a few good days' practice, concentrating mostly on rare and esoteric styles of Kung Fu. As a high achiever by nature, I'm confident I've done enough to guarantee my victory in this tournament.
I'm sure you have.
I seem to have gained another fan. Don't let my aura overwhelm you, though. You'll need your wits about you today. Now then, if you don't mind, I need to finish my pre-competition routine. It's not too long now before you'll get to see me in action.
Not sure who you're talking about. I was talking about the scene in Star Trek First Contact. But the moment you mention nanomachines, the Senator Armstrong from Metal Gear Rising comes into mind. So yeah, sorry. Anyways, as for this guy, he does...
So, to recap, we're up against an inflated ego, some gullible guys pay way too much for their kung fu classes, and another guy who's just really average.
Yeah.
Seems like you've got a pretty good chance of winning this thing.
Well,
Come on, let's go sign up.
only one way to find out. Most of these guys, well, the first one did sound off like a bit of a show-off. The other guy is a bit of an average person, and the other two are just gullible. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Just should I or should I not face them?
Chink's a village arm wrestling champion, huh? All right, you're signed up. Next, please. What's your name?
This is Aether. I'm Zola.
Wait, aren't you? Did I hear that right?
What? Borg inject nanopros, which are subcellular-sized machines that modify into any biologic susceptible to them into Borg. Ah, gotcha.
Is it really them?
Huh? Aren't they a vision bearer, though? Why are they trying to enter the clash?
I have to ask, aren't you the traveler that helped Liyue fight off that ancient god?
Yep.
Oh, it's really him!
The one that spoke with Lady Kuching at the rite of parting.
Oh, I wonder if I can get his autograph later.
I wasn't aware that we were that famous. Never underestimate your opponents. Yeah.
I trust you are aware that
That's
only
right.
those without visions can enter the tournament?
We don't have visions.
Really? But from what I've heard, the things you're capable of in combat are nothing short of extraordinary. You walk into the most dangerous situations imaginable, face off against all sorts of monsters, even the Fatui, and always come out on top.
Yep, he still doesn't have a vision though. See for yourself.
All right.
My apologies. I didn't mean to be rude. I'm sure a great hero like yourself would have no reason to lie. Now, could I ask you to provide a few claims to fame? It's just a formality for you, of course, but I have to make a record of competitors' achievements as part of the sign-up process. So far, I've got defeated the ancient god Osile, so that's one. Do you have any others?
Let's see. We defeated, wait, did we defeat a Fatui Harbinger? Did we? We did, didn't we?
Yeah, and also a dragon too. Put down Battle with Storm Terror.
Oh yeah, good one.
Whoa.
Might as well declare him the champion already.
Hey. Don't count your chickens just yet. Trust me.
I wonder if it's too late to withdraw.
No. Trust me, you all came here with a chance, right? So please.
Okay, that's plenty. Actually, this is the most dazzling track record I've ever seen. By a long shot. Right, your registration is complete. Now, a brief word about the prize. A great hero such as yourself can surely only be here for one thing. To win the tournament and claim the grand prize, namely, a vision.
That's a neat prize, but that's not why we're here for the tournament.
Oh, we're not here for that. We're here because Captain Beto promised to take us to Inazuma if we win the tournament.
So, if we end up winning the tournament, then the one in second place gets to keep it. Maybe the visions are limiting fighters? That could be the case.
There's another prize, too? Oh, first I've heard of it.
Beto must have upped the stakes this time to attract top talent.
But why would anyone want to go somewhere as dangerous as Inazuma?
I see. So, I take it you discussed your terms with Beto in advance, then?
Yeah, everyone seems to be misunderstanding the situation.
Well, nobody expected you to sign up to a tournament like this. I can hardly believe it myself, to be honest. Anyway, the qualifying rounds are about to begin. I'll leave you to your preparation.
Hey, so Paimon's thinking about that whole no vision bearers rule in this tournament. Even though you don't have a vision, most people in Teyvat think that you can't manipulate the elements without one. So Paimon thinks you probably shouldn't use your elemental abilities during the tournament. You know, just to avoid any misunderstandings.
Gotcha.
In any case, looking at the competition, it should still be pretty easy for you to win, even without using any elements, right?
Well, it does make sense, but you can never tell.
It's showtime! You got this!
You seem like you're raring to go. Are you ready to compete?
Yes.
Good. Then please follow me into the arena.
Okay, so just use regular attacks. Okay.
Our next competitor is seen by many as the favorite to win this tournament. His first bout begins now.
You? You're the hero they're talking about?
Seriously? I just defeated this guy without any sweat broken.
What a strange guy. Why was he so confident
Seriously,
to begin with?
that's not even a challenge. I'm very disappointed.
Now that we've won, let's go and see Beto. She'll probably have something to say to us.
This is really disappointing. I was expecting a challenge, not the... I was expecting a challenge, damn it.
I knew I wouldn't regret introducing you as the favorite. So, what do you think, Kazuha? He totally dominated that guy and did it with style, too.
It's nothing, really.
Impressive. But I also observed our favorite exercise some restraint, as if to protect the opponent from serious harm.
Well, I've fought my fair share of battles, both big and small. And I say, after the show he put on just now, he's more than convinced me of his ability.
Like I said, nothing much.
So come on. We all know you've got a wide vocabulary in there. Can't you spare a word or two to congratulate our up-and-coming champion?
Okay, Spoka says, I think anyone who can take on 3 slimes could have taken out that moron. Well, it's more than just 3 slimes, you know. In this game, there's a lot of slimes to face. So anybody who can take on 3 slimes could have taken out that more. For someone facing a lot of slimes, it should be that much to face off against opponents such as that.
All right. Let me think how to aptly phrase these words of praise. You fought well.
All right, then. I was thinking your inner poet might want to join in the fun, but I guess I shouldn't put you on the spot like that. You know, a lot of competitors came to me saying how surprised they were that Liyue's hero was entering the tournament. And since you signed up, we've had many others do the same, with more than a few top-tier fighters among them. I'm sure lots of them are here to find out how they stack up against you.
We didn't know that we were that popular.
Well, since everyone sees you as the one to beat, I figure I should start treating you that way too. For one thing, we don't want you wasting all your energy in the early rounds fighting people who are well below your level. Not to mention, you must be itching to fight someone in your league too, right?
If I'm looking for a fight, it has to be someone who can bring us a challenge. A challenge, all right?
So, I'm putting you straight through to the semifinals.
Wow.
Huh? But we only just started the qualifiers. Seems like a crazy system if we just skip straight to the semifinals.
There's a bunch of qualifying rounds to go through. There's even the quarterfinals. We're just nixing the quarterfinals and heading straight to semifinals. Really? This
is how Captain Beto works. You won't persuade her otherwise.
All right.
Besides, at your level, you would have made it to the semifinals anyway.
To be fair, Paimon was thinking that too.
You're actually not wrong.
All right, I'm gonna watch some more of the tournament. If there's any potential contenders for you out there, I want to know who they are and what they're about.
All right, who's the semifinal opponent?
We're finally here, folks. The real show is about to begin.
The captain seems to have high hopes for this tournament. I have not seen her so excited in quite some time. Your opponent has fought many rounds to get to the semifinals. This makes him a seasoned warrior. You may well be stronger than him, but this should not give you cause to lower your guard.
We haven't forgotten why we're here.
Very well. Show me that you are ready to push through the storm that lies ahead.
All right, that's enough chit-chat for now. The audience is waiting. Go find the crew member that signed you up. She'll take you into the arena.
Okay. What's the next step? All right. What's the next round?
Your opponent in the semifinals is new to the Crux Clash, but he has quickly become the dark horse of the tournament. I do not doubt your abilities, but I would suggest that you make sure you are fully prepared before you begin.
Relax, my guy's at the top of his game. gonna lose.
Let's go. Let's go for it.
Okay, follow me.
At last, the moment we've all been waiting for. The semifinals have begun. Who's it gonna be this time? The hero or the dark horse?
Oh, no,
I
you
don't
don't.
care about the prize. You're a strong opponent. That's what I'm here for.
No, you don't.
It's a fury.
Nope. Oh, no, you don't. Woo! Woo!
I'm sweating all over. It's a good feeling.
You did give us a good challenge. That's what I'm talking about. Now, this is a challenge. You did a good job.
Congratulations. I was beaten by the best. I need to train harder.
Hey, you fought very well yourself. Seriously, you really held out on your own there. I really am impressed.
Right! For a moment there, Paimon was a little worried.
Yeah.
If you had a vision, you'd definitely be one of the strongest around.
Agreed.
I wanted a vision once, when I was a kid. People said that if you're strong enough, you'll have your chance to get one. But mine never came. I lost interest eventually. You can't depend on a vision like you can your own body. I've fought and won against vision bearers before. The power they have was given to them by the gods. I don't envy it.
Huh? You mean you didn't sign up to try and get your hands on that masterless vision?
Yeah, I heard he's not interested in the vision to begin with during the fight.
No, I didn't. I only wanted to pit myself against other fighters and see who was the strongest. Only in defeat can you understand your weaknesses and learn from them. So I'm pleased with today's outcome. I don't often have the pleasure of experiencing defeat.
Wow! Now that's true strength talking.
That is really interesting words.
If you have the chance in the future, please come and spar with me again. I will be stronger next time.
No problem.
By the way, do you know who else made it into the finals? Is it gonna be someone even tougher than you?
Or is it a surprise?
Whether they'll be as tough as me, I don't know. But what I have heard is that they're extremely quick, so don't get too cocky.
I won't.
There he goes. Maybe we should ask around, see what we can find out about our opponent in the final round. Paimon thinks we might need to up our game a little.
True. Something tells me it could be Kazuha or something, but let's see.
Ah, it's you! I watched your match. What a stunning performance. I myself was eliminated in the third round. Shame. If only I could have advanced one more round.
Maybe next time, huh? By the way, do you happen to know who else advanced to the final round?
Why, yes. He's the same one who defeated me. He is a formidable opponent, quick on his feet and swift to take advantage of his opponent's missteps.
Quick on his feet, so he can take advantage of opponent's missteps.
I faltered for but a brief moment, but before I knew it, he had me on the floor. Given my stature, I have no fear of squaring off with physically strong opponents. But faced with a nimble, agile opponent such as him, I found myself completely out of my league.
Sometimes it's not true strength, but speed. You don't need to fight strong, you just have to fight smart.
Still, I'm sure he'll be no match for you.
We shall see. We shall see. We'll see about that. We need more info about this final opponent. He's fast and quick on his feet, though.
Hey there! Well, where did the other guy go?
He tried to use force dispersal to deflect a punch, but instead he took it straight to the nose. There was blood all over the place.
Ooh.
His opponent was pretty freaked out by it. He kept asking him, "Why didn't you dodge?" But he was pretty much out cold by that point and couldn't reply. "Why don't you dodge?" they ask. Because to not dodge is the very essence of Lingshan clan kung fu. It's just that he hadn't quite mastered it yet.
Oh, I see. They're just like Gohan. For someone who has seen Dragon Ball Z abridged, I know where this is coming from. Anyways, sorry. How did your match go?
Don't even get me started. I spent all my energy helping him get from here to the boat to take him back to the harbor. But by the time I got back, my scheduled match time had already passed and I had to forfeit. I don't dare tell my master about this. Otherwise, I'd never hear the end of it. Sorry, I shouldn't be complaining in front of you like this. I'm afraid I'm still a bit out of sorts at the moment, so I probably won't be able to help you with whatever you were here to ask me about.
Oh, alright then. Hope your buddy makes a swift recovery. Hang in there.
Thanks, I'll do my best.
Not much info about that, so...
We still haven't got any useful information yet.
DBZ
Maybe
would have
we
it
can
go
talk
to...
to Beto. Surely she's gotta know something.
DBZ will have it go to extreme powering up constipation. Okay, ask Beto and Kazuha. Is it Kazuha? Please tell me it's Kazuha.
You gave an outstanding performance. Truly commendable. I could sense that you're not familiar with bouts of this kind, and it could have cost you the match. But you were quick to adapt, and managed to claim victory over your opponent. That is a most invaluable skill.
You are very observant.
In fact, I discerned this not from what I saw, but what I heard. The ground beneath your feet, and the pattern of your breathing. But it is nothing remarkable, for I discerned nothing more than Captain Beto did.
He's right. But in my case, I was purely relying on previous experience. I guess not using your elemental powers must be quite new for you, huh?
It sure is.
We wanted to ask about who our opponent will be in the final round. Do you think they'll be stronger than the one we faced in the semifinals?
I anticipate that in the finals, I'll be facing up an even more challenging opponent.
Not exactly. Contenders that reach the finals aren't necessarily stronger. They tend to have something unique about their style.
So yeah, like I said, not fight strong, but fight smart.
As for the guy you'll be facing, his skill lies in his speed, and he has superior form. It's also obvious that he's seen his fair share of battles.
Okay, now this is challenging.
What's the matter? Worried that you've bitten off more than you can chew this time?
Better to be safe than sorry.
If that is the case, then I have a proposal for you. Let's go somewhere a little quieter, shall we? I haven't properly introduced myself yet. In the land of INAZUMA, I was a wandering samurai.
Yeah, we could tell that from your getup. But at the same time, when you talk, you don't really sound like someone who's used to waving a sword around.
Well, the idea of a samurai is that they fight, that they have a code of honor. They flailing their swords around, not flailing swords around like maniacs. No, this is the samurai we're talking about.
It is true that I am versed both in literary and martial traditions. But on the straggling path of a wandering samurai, is there harm in acquiring a surplus skill? I do not mean to flaunt my martial prowess, but I myself have witnessed reputable fighters hailing from across the lands. I do possess some knowledge regarding your opponent's particular skill set. Given your talents, a few hints from me will be all that's necessary to bring your opponent down.
Hang on. Don't you think you're bending the rules a bit there?
Gathering intelligence is an essential part of any duel. You must know your enemy.
Agreed. Know thy enemy.
Besides, our favorite here has fought many battles on their journey from Mondstadt. Such impressive feats require more than just bravery alone.
You betcha! Wait a second. We never told you that we've been to Mondstadt.
How did you know this information?
Does one not leave a trail when traveling through the wild? In return, nature also leaves its traces upon you. However, there is only so much that can be discerned from these traces. I sense that many things about you elude me still. These are the things I am curious to know about. Come with me. Some post-match entertainment is in order.
All right. Why that far of a distance? Really, why that far? I mean, how does he know about that? We didn't mention anything to him about... we didn't mention anything to him, yet how does he know? This is way bizarre. He acquired... How did he acquire this information? We're here.
Now that we're alone, let me cut to the heart of the matter. You are skilled in manipulating the elements, and not just a single element, but multiple. Is that correct?
So you already knew from the start.
Paimon knew that you were hinting at something from the moment we met. You've known all along.
That's right. If the other contenders were to catch wind of your elemental abilities, let's just say it would cause some unwanted misunderstandings.
If it helps, we Cronians do not possess any visions, so yeah, I'm with Aether on this one. So Aether and I, we don't have visions, but yet we're able to conjure up elemental powers. So, and yes, he's not wrong that catching wind of our elemental abilities, it will cause some misunderstandings. That does make sense.
If I'm not mistaken, you share these considerations, given your reluctance to use elemental skills even in the heat of a match.
One, it's obviously it's in the rules not to use elements during the match, so it makes sense. And two, how did you know? It's true, but how did you know?
When I talk about that which I see or hear in you, this is not poetic symbolism at play. I mean these things in the truest sense possible. Since a young age, I have been attuned to the tidings of nature. I hear the breath of the wind and the whispers of the leaves. It is things of this nature that I also hear from within you. Nothing more.
As crazy as all that sounds, somehow Paimon still believes you.
My humble abilities are negligible compared to your incredible feats. To think a human could wield the elements without a vision, and not to mention your incredibly complex scent, like that of some mysterious being.
Hey, stop evaluating us based on our smell! It's weird!
Yeah, really weird.
Could you perchance enlighten me as to how you managed to obtain your combined elemental abilities?
The only thing the only thing I can tell is that Aether just touched the statue with the 7. I, on the other hand, did the same as well.
Extraordinary. So then, might I be so bold as to inquire how exactly it is that you learned to channel elemental energy and even wield it in combat?
Thanks to Paimon's knowledge.
Aw, it's nothing really. Paimon just told him whatever came to mind. It's been a long journey, and many things have happened along the way. Somehow, he just naturally learned to use the elements through it all.
That's right. Since we started the journey, it just became natural, you know?
Honestly, even Paimon doesn't understand how it all works.
Same here. And that's coming from a Cronian, by the way.
Perhaps such unfathomable things are the essence of the gods and the visions they grant. However, I still wish to have the honor of seeing how you wield the elements. Perhaps it may yet reveal something to me. Of course, I too shall share with you all that I've learned. That will make it a fair exchange.
Well, we're not in the arena right now, right? All right then.
Now then, let's test your skills, shall we?
Okay. Defeat the monsters to show Kazuha your elemental abilities.
Let's roll.
You know what's weird? The weird thing is that the mission doesn't even specify. You know, the strangest thing here is that the mission doesn't even specify. The mission doesn't even specify. Yeah, you know, the strangest thing, the mission doesn't even specify.
Fourth, my blade.
Why do they never miss? Adventures didn't see that come. Teamwork is dreamwork. Let's light it up. Useless.
The mission didn't specify, so I had to go with that.
Your skills in battle are truly beyond reproach. Even with your opponent's speed, he shouldn't be able to overwhelm you. Your opponent is skilled at controlling his breathing and maintaining balance, which enables him to execute moves that many would find impossible. He relies entirely on the element of surprise to defeat his opponents.
The element of surprise.
In other words, as long as you remain mindful of his ability to detect weak points, then his attacks should pose no threat to you.
Thank you. I will not underestimate him.
Please, save your thanks. If anything, I should be thanking you for the opportunity to witness your command of the elements that defies all known principles. The world is a truly mysterious place, it seems, and one will always encounter that which is still unknown.
You seem kind of obsessed with visions, but don't you already have your own? Why are you so intent on exploring the connection between visions and the elements?
Kandehara is speaking of himself, I think. Yeah, it's hinting us that our final opponent is definitely Kaza.
I desire to know what meaning visions have to the gods, and what influences the gods' decision to grant humans these visions. My apologies. You must be completely in the dark regarding such matters. For allowing me the honor of witnessing your mystical ways, I am willing to answer any questions you may have regarding INAZUMA.
Sure.
So that's what you're curious about? Then allow me to tell you more. As you well know, a vision hunt decree is currently underway in INAZUMA.
Ah.
Visions are a gift bestowed by the divine. People that have accepted this gift are now having their visions confiscated inexplicably. Sometimes in circumstances that leave their original recipients dead.
Ah.
In the outset, supposing each of the 7 archons had their criteria for granting visions to living beings, then does the current Electro-Archon now doubt these criteria, or even the act in and of itself?
Good question. And seeing that Aether and I don't even have visions to begin with, it wouldn't be much of a problem, but the fact that we use elemental abilities is just going to make things a bit confusing and a bit hard for them.
Not to mention, with no new electrovisions having been granted for such a long time, it would seem that we can infer something of the Raiden Shogun's feelings on the matter.
She sounds less like an Archon and more like a tyrant.
As far as I know, she is an Archon that pursues eternity. She will relentlessly carry out her will with no regard to what others may think or feel.
A true soldier. A powerful soldier without any conscious remorse or delusions of morality.
Liyue's contracts are meant to benefit all who reside within Liyue. But what does Inazuma's pursuit of eternity bring to its people? It goes without saying that the people locked within Inazuma do not fare well these days.
Sounds a lot like something the god you encountered in the beginning would do.
Yeah. I'm now thinking of Tron identity discs. Everything done and lured gets imprinted on said disc. But the downside is if the disc gets damaged, the paired program instantly suffers de-resolution, aka digital death. Ah, you're not wrong about that.
Oh? Have you encountered the Electro-Archon before?
No.
With time, we will change. But the Shogun will remain the same. If you wish to find her, she will forever be there. There will come a day when I too shall wish to understand the answers to eternity from her. The time for your match is approaching.
Oh, right! We got so distracted talking about Inazuma that Paimon forgot all about the tournament!
Yes, the final match.
If you have no other matters to attend to, then we can return together.
Let's go.
Very well. Let's go. I wish to see who will obtain the vision.
But as stated before, we're not here for the vision. We're just here for a trip to Inazuma. As we stated before, we don't care about winning the vision. We just want to get the trip underway.
Why isn't he here yet? Never mind. We can start by making your entrance first. Everyone, listen up! Your attention, please! We've reached the climax of the Crux Clash! This is the final match! We've seen many exciting battles today, and now at long last, the two finalists have emerged. Now, I'd like to introduce our first combatant. Though few have seen him, his reputation knows no bounds. He strikes fear into the heart of Osile, and the mere mention of his name causes even the Fatui Harbingers to turn pale in the face. Introducing Liyue's Traveling Hero!
Wow! I've been waiting for this moment!
I'm sure everyone witnessed his thrilling match in the semifinals. But today's final round will surely take things up a notch. As for our other combatant, he still hasn't arrived. Oh, come on,
Seriously?
what could be taking him so long? You can't just forfeit for not showing up like in previous rounds. This is the finals. Apologies, everyone just sit tight.
Let me guess. They got the match time mixed up?
We've got no other choice. If he doesn't show up, we'll just have to postpone the match.
Wait a moment. Something doesn't seem right about this.
I think you're right. You're right, Kazuha. I too have that same feeling.
Captain Beto, perhaps we should check on the prize. Traveler, come with us.
Yeah. For him not showing up, it could be... Let's see. The vision box.
Let me see. It's gone all right.
Ah,
The vision is missing.
someone stole it.
Huh? Did somebody steal it? Who would dare do such a thing in broad daylight?
We don't know when it was taken exactly. I never thought that someone here would have the guts to cross Captain Bait.
No need to worry. Even the craftiest sleight of hand does not escape nature's watchful gaze. The culprit has only acted recently. They will not have gotten far.
That's right.
The vision was the prize that I had offered, and it was my responsibility to look after it. I will be certain to get it back.
Well, if you insist. I'll leave the matter to you then. I'll stay here and try to offer some explanation to all the spectators that came to see the match.
If you would, please come with me.
All right.
But we're on an island. Where could he have possibly run to?
It possible it could have a ship, but
Come with me. I can sense the winds are coming.
the winds. Let's go and check. Go to the wind current location.
Huh? A wind current?
The winds have come at an opportune moment. Let's seize this chance. Ride the winds upward. From there, we can continue our search for clues.
What's this?
By the way, what made you suddenly think of checking the prize in the first place?
I heard it the moment it was stolen.
Seriously? We have to
Why
face...
didn't you stop him?
You'll see shortly.
Seriously, I hate these guys. Showing up at the impromptu times like this.
Swift and merciful.
Let's roll! A big mistake missing with us.
You can't run from death.
Ah.
Hello, free money. Goodbye, working for a living.
Okay, let me just heal up for a bit. Heal up my squad, I mean. There. Let's see. This one will go, this one will go. Okay, it wasn't that guy. It wasn't the Fatsui agent. Let's see.
The winds are guiding us forward. The culprit is on the opposite shore now.
You can hear that too? What does it sound like?
Huh? No.
Hubris. This way. Follow me. There may be an ambush waiting for us up ahead, but I trust that you are well prepared for such a scenario.
Seriously? Seriously, we have no choice but to ride the wind? The wind
winds
currents?
are guiding us forward. The culprit is on the opposite shore now.
You can hear that
Let's
too?
try this again.
What does it sound like?
Ugh.
Hubris. This way.
Why?
Follow me. There may be an ambush waiting for us up ahead, but I trust that you are well prepared for such a scenario.
Right.
Hoarders, they're here! Get them!
Treasure hoarders, just
Treasure
as I
hoarders.
expected. In which
Would they
case,
be
please
responsible?
stand back.
I got carried.
Let's roll!
Picked the wrong test.
Come on. Okay. Could it be the treasure hoarders? I mean, it's obvious that they're thieves, but still. You can never know.
You caught up with me? How is that possible? I had even prepared a boat to ensure a quick getaway, and still you caught up to me.
No boat could ever match the speed of the wind.
The wind? What are you talking about? Oh, I get it. Your vision. Drat! If I only had a vision. Or if I could activate this one, then you'd never be able to catch me.
This has nothing to do with visions. You may be skilled at vanishing from a crowd, but it seems you know precious little about how to conceal yourself from nature's gaze. Additionally, your chosen escape route was flawed for reasons that are too numerous to go into. And on top of that, I could hear your boasting and proud laughter in the wind as I was pursuing you. In other words, you failed to meet any of the basic criteria for a grand heist. Namely, speed, stealth, and style.
That says a lot about him. Just saying that to myself.
You...
But most disappointing of all is the state of the vision in your hand. It appears that the vision doesn't respond to human desire indiscriminately.
Fine, fine. I admit it. I've had my eyes on this vision for quite some time now. I decided to register after hearing that this fighting contest was full of a bunch of lousy fighters. I fought my way to the finals and...
You chickened out at the last second.
You were supposed to be our opponent.
So you're our
I'd
opponent.
intended to win the contest through skill alone all along. But then you showed up. After watching the semifinals, I knew that I didn't stand a chance. But I wasn't about to give up on the vision so easily after coming all this way. Since there was no use in trying to face you in the match, I decided to put my skills to good use while everyone's attention was on you and Beto. I was convinced I prepared thoroughly for my escape, but somehow you still managed to catch up to me.
Now you basically ran out of backup plans right now. Nowhere else to run to now, so just give it up.
Drat. This should have gone differently.
There'll be consequences if you resist any further.
I know an empty threat when I hear one.
Just give us the vision, and we'll let you go.
Fine. But you'd better mean it. It didn't activate once I took it anyway. It's nothing but a useless shell to me.
You know, according to the laws of the sea, the penalty for stealing is breaking the culprit's arms.
Huh? You're not serious.
Not to mention that the item you stole was a prize. You didn't show up for the final match, and you damaged the reputation of the captain of the Crux fleet. It seems that it would be only fair to brand the word thief on your forehead with a hot iron.
Whoa, whoa! We don't need to go that far, do we?
Yeah, that's a bit too far. I mean, effective torture, but still. That's basically just going all out, you know?
I never would have guessed you could be so cruel. If this is where talking gets me, then forget it. I'll risk a fight.
Finally, a challenge. All right, then. We'll go for it. Seriously?
Attaboy!
How is he supposed to be a competent fighter? I thought he was a competent fighter. He's using weapons.
Just a temporary set.
You did put up a good fight, but you used a crossbow, so not likely.
No, no. Do what you want, but please, don't brand my forehead, please!
He has persevered to the bitter end, and now death looms near. Yet still the gods do not bestow their favor upon him. Put down the vision and leave. I've changed my mind. No further punishment for you.
Huh?
What's wrong? Are you asking for more punishment?
I mean, we can go for a rematch if you like.
It's up to you. Such willingness is commendable and fits the way of the samurai.
No need for that. Thank you for releasing me. You truly are generous.
Huh? Paimon doesn't get it. Were you just trying to scare him?
I take no pleasure in frightening others. I was just testing all possibilities while the vision remained in his hands. When people are forced into a corner, that is when their greatest strength will appear. I thought it may be an opportunity for him to awaken the vision, but unfortunately, nothing happened.
You were playing this all along, weren't you?
Yes. I wanted to know whether it were possible for an extinguished vision to be reawakened. From the moment he stole the vision, I decided to use him for this experiment. I've tried many other methods in the past, though few tales tell of a masterless vision reawakening. After seeing you command multiple elements, I figured that nothing is impossible. Come, why don't you give it a try? Let's see if you can give me the answer I'm hoping for.
We'll try, but I doubt that the answer will be there. If the answer we're looking for is there.
The vision didn't seem to respond at all.
Yeah, it's baffling, even to us Cronians.
I see. So you are also unable to rekindle the vision.
That's true.
No matter. This was expected. I suppose this vision is still mine to take for now.
Why are you so determined to rekindle the vision?
Yeah, what's the story behind this vision anyway?
The story begins with an old friend. He was once a good friend of mine. One day he asked me about a sword art of which he had heard, the Musono Hitotachi. I told him it can only be witnessed when divine punishment is administered. It is the pinnacle of the Raiden Shogun's skill, a symbol of ultimate power.
Whoa.
But he replied, there must be one who can withstand it. There will always be those who dare to brave the lightning's glow. Then, the Vision Hunt decree arrived. People's aspirations were stripped away as the Raiden Shogun began to construct her ideal of eternity. While I was fleeing from place to place, I heard that my friend had challenged the Vision Hunters to a duel before the throne. A solemn yet brutal challenge. The defeated face divine punishment, while the victors gain a second chance. Perhaps he thought he of all people should make a stand. Coming face to face with the Musono Hitotachi was all that he truly desired, after all. When I arrived at Tenshukaku, the duel was over. I heard his sentence of divine punishment, his severed blade hitting the ground. Perhaps that was the glory he had yearned to witness. In his last moments, what expression was on his face? Before I knew it, I had stepped forward and snatched the dying vision and was running from the scene. All I knew was that I mustn't let his hope, which burned so brightly, become buried among the ice-cold statue of a god.
Wow.
Perhaps one day, I may come to find that all I have done is meaningless. But as a wandering samurai, I find meaning in traveling and the sprawling beauty of nature that lies along the way, while still retaining the warrior way in my heart.
Sounds like another samurai I know.
Kazuha.
It's just another way of saying I do as I please. All right then. It's time we returned.
Let's go.
Allow me to gather the wind for us once more.
So, that's a bit of a disappointment. The finals, I mean. The last guy was a challenge, true, but he used a crossbow, and it wasn't too much. I would say that the guy in the semifinals was a big challenge. Hey, we're back.
Huh? Did Beta leave already? Maybe she went back to her ship.
If you're looking for the captain, she was summoned by Lady Ningguang. It seems that the Crux Clash got out of hand this time and has attracted her attention. Captain Beidou was muttering something about Ningguang being a stick in the mud as she headed off to Liyue Harbor.
It's not unusual for those two to be at odds with one another.
But still, Captain Beidou was disappointed she didn't get to witness the crowning of the new champion. She had been looking forward to it for quite some time.
The one who stole the vision was originally to be this hero's opponent in the final round. He knew he stood no chance of winning the match, thus the wicked idea of stealing the prize took hold in his mind. In which case, the Crux Clash comes to a clear-cut conclusion.
Huh? So that's what happened?
Yeah.
If that's the case, then the rules stipulate that he is disqualified. And our hero here is the champion.
So according to the rules, we technically are the winners.
Paimon thought we'd win and all, but not like this.
Yeah, to be honest, I wanted a challenge. I wanted to be challenged in this tournament, but instead, this is a disappointment. This is really, really bad.
It doesn't matter. As the saying goes, honor given is honor deserved. Now, let me go prepare the champion's medal to award you.
Does that also mean we will get to travel to Inazuma now?
Yes, I believe so. Though Captain Beidou is no longer present here, I'll be sure she receives word of it. She is a woman of her word, but the voyage to Inazuma is a treacherous one. You will be plagued by a perpetual tempest the entire trip. In fact, the relentless rain and wind are also an embodiment of the Raiden Shogun's will to close the nation.
Wow, she's going through great lengths to make sure no one gets in and nothing gets out. If that is her idea of eternity, then I can't imagine what would happen to the population, to the country's population.
Hold on a second. You're saying she can change the weather just with the power of her mind?
Let us not forget that this is one of the 7 Archons. If Liyue's Morax could form Guyun's stone forest by casting down his stone spears, then it should come as no great surprise that the Raiden Shogun is capable of summoning an eternal tempest. Suffice it to say that if you wish to journey to Inazuma, the Alcor will need some time. You will be notified once all the preparations have been made. In the meantime, I intend to embark on a journey of my own. I will travel all across the vast lands of Liyue in the hope of finding a way to reawaken the vision.
Paimon believes you'll find a way for sure.
Same here.
Thank you. May both our journeys prove meaningful.
The Tempest winds were what I was thinking of saying trade winds. How well do you make progress in hurricanes? Well, I don't know much about winds and hurricanes, though.
One final word of warning. The part of your journey that lies after the storm may well prove to be the most arduous.
That's true. So even if we did make it through the storm, even though we will make it through the storm, we still have to deal with the guards. Well, we did win the medal, so technically we did win, but this victory is kind of anticlimactic, if you ask me. Alright, so our next step is to go back to Liyue Harbor and ask Catherine for information about Inazuma. So yeah, we just need to head to Inazuma. So we did complete the prologue chapter. Now we need to head to the next chapter. But we did win overall, so I guess this means we can go to Inazuma. But the fact is, it's the entire Crux Clash is a bit disappointing. I was expecting a huge challenge like Budokai Tenkaichi. Like Budokai Tenkaichi like tournament, but this is anticlimactic with the way things have turned out. It's really disappointing. Anyways, Catherine?
Add
Astra Abyssosque. What can I do for you, traveler?
About traveling to Inazuma.
Ah, yes. I've heard that you've already made arrangements with the captain of the Crux fleet regarding your passage to Inazuma. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now that I think about it, it's been quite some time since I last visited those lands. Unfortunately, I don't have any current intel that would be worth sharing with you.
There you are. You're the traveler that Beidou will be taking to Inazuma, right?
Well, it seems our intel has arrived.
The fleet has nearly completed reprovisioning. Once the crews have taken a head count, we can get underway.
All right,
Captain Beidou sent me to come get you. We'll weigh anchor as soon as you're aboard.
Seems Beidou is the captain of her word.
Of course. There are many things that the captain insists upon. I'm sure you'll see for yourself once you're on board.
I hope some of the NPCs from the tournament show up and realize how outmatched they were, especially ones who bragged about how great they were before the fights. Yeah, I would love to see that too.
So you'll be heading off then? I suppose congratulations are in order. Whether the journey before you leads to the heights of the heavens or the depths of the abyss, each step you take is another achievement. Until we meet again, Ad Astra Abyssosque.
Ad Astra Abyssosque.
Oh, it's kind of hard to say goodbye now. We practically see each other every day.
That's true.
Well, if that's how you feel, why not come and find me when you arrive? I'll be awaiting you on Narukami Island.
I knew it.
So there's another Catherine in Inazuma? See? There's no need to get all sappy now.
Then how do you explain by the fact that you don't have any current intel? Oh wait, you only have intel pertaining to the country. Like, for example, you are stationed in Liyue, so that means you have intel regarding about Liyue. Makes sense.
Well, I guess it's time for you to bid farewell to Liyue Harbor. Now that I've delivered my message, I'll be heading back. The ship is currently anchored off of Guyun Stone Forest.
I know.
Okay, thanks for coming all this way to let us know.
Thank you.
Just following orders. I'll see you two aboard the Alcor.
All right. Now we can get started on Inazuma. The time has come to say goodbye to all our company.
Can't catch me.
It's not goodbye yet. We will still come back to Liyue Harbor one of these days. But yeah, it's time we bid adieu to Liyue Harbor. Mickey Mouse. Oh wait, before we get started on the journey, we have to do a bit of a bathroom break. I'll be right back. Okay, your prince is back. There, my bathroom break is over. And it's a good idea to finish your business before heading off at such a long voyage. Like I said, it's a good idea to always do your business before heading off to a long voyage. Otherwise, it will be just too cumbersome, you know? So we'll be on our way to Inazuma now. All right, we're here, Beidou.
Ah, you finally made it. All these years, come rain or storm, the Crux fleet has never suffered a delay. If it were anyone else, I might have set sail already.
Apologies, Captain.
Don't look too serious, I'm only joking. You're just on time. The crew have just finished making final preparations. Well, now that everyone's here, we set sail for the land engulfed by storm and tempest. The nation of eternity.
Anchors away!
You said it. We'll be facing the storm soon. Oh, it started to rain. Started to rain. Whoa. Oh, Kazuha's joining the ride. Nice little ship. All right, Captain. Right, let's move. Alright, after braving the raging thunderstorm, the Alcor finally comes to port. What? We missed out on the cutscene! Oreya gonna help below decks? Yeah, there's no passage through the below decks. And why, after braving the raging thunderstorm, why we totally missed out on that cutscene, you know? Wow. Made it. So this is Inazuma. It does look quiet. It's amazing, yet quiet. Okay. Or confusion. Yeah.
Oh, hi there.
First introductions, huh?
So, you finally made it. You sure kept me waiting, Captain. And it appears we have a couple of stowaways. Or perhaps I should say, honored guests.
Yeah, no.
You can blame your almighty shogun. The tempests around Inazuma have been growing all the more fierce lately. Though the fleet was fully up to the challenge, the inclement weather still caused some delay. Now then, let me introduce everyone. This is Toma, a trade partner that I've gotten to know recently.
I see.
You don't know how long I've been waiting to see you.
Toma, these two are...
Oh, no need for introductions. Their reputation precedes them. Seems even the stormy seas can't keep rumors of these outlanders' sterling deeds at bay.
I'm sure the rumors exaggerate.
Oh, it's sure nice to hear you say that.
Still, you know what they say, flattery won't get you anywhere, but still.
With any luck, it'll give you a head start here. Toma's resided on Rito for quite some time now. It wouldn't be going too far to say he's the fixer around these parts.
Neat.
If you run into any problems here, just talk to Toma. But if he tries to pull any moves on you, I'll be sure to deal with him personally the next time I'm around.
No need to worry. I'm sure we'll get along just fine.
Same here.
Good. Then if it's all settled, I'll be going. I wouldn't want to be caught with my sails down here. I do have a wanted fugitive on board after all.
Yeesh.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah, that's right. Makes sense.
Until next time, traveler. Remember to give it your all, no matter what perilous storms you may encounter.
We got this. Look forward to seeing you again, Captain.
Fair seas, Captain Beto. Bye-bye.
Good luck on your voyage return home.
Now then, first things first. We need to go get you registered at the border checkpoint.
Ah, the paperwork.
Paimon thought we were supposed to be keeping things on the down low. Are we just gonna walk into the government's hands?
Don't underestimate the reaches of the Sakoku decree. You wouldn't be able to avoid inspection even if you tried.
Ah, I knew it. Paperwork.
So we have to play by the rules, even if we're kind of bending them.
Oh, then okay then. So I guess we have no choice but to utilize the paperwork. Ooh, viewpoint. So yeah, looks like we have no other choice but to basically just... So yeah, we have no other choice but to utilize the checkpoint. We have to use paperwork. Oh man. There's a lot of paperwork involved.
Hello? Please state your name, identity, and the purpose of your visit. Oh, except you, Toma.
Okay, then.
You must be new here. Excuse me? Please provide the information requested and also declare any goods you are carrying with you.
Imagine if the game made it a quiz that you had to accurately fill out based on your actions in game and move on. That would basically be an interesting way to play, but at the same time it would be kind of annoying considering that you need to know all of this. You have to take notes, like you're in some clues and all. Okay, we can't just say we're here to find his sister because as much as... But we're here to trade wine or... Let's go with this!
Oh, well, I'm sorry. We cannot approve entry for purely personal reasons. So, unless you have a valid reason for visiting in accordance with the rules... My apologies, but I'll have to ask you to...
Here are their entry papers, for your kind perusal.
What?
Seriously?
Take your time. No rush or anything.
I just wanted to see what you'd say. Sorry about that.
I see. Okay. Your papers are all in order. Welcome to Rito.
So, where do we go next?
The Outlander Affairs Agency. They only check entry permits here. If you want to remain on Rito, there's a process you have to go through with them.
Ah, more paperwork.
Sheesh. So it is super strict, just like everyone said.
Well, let's not forget that to everyday folk in Inazuma, people from everywhere else are referred to as outsiders.
Outsiders. Didn't hear that one before.
As the word suggests, Outlanders aren't very welcome in Inazuma with the Sakoku Decree in force. Not even on Rito, where they've established an outsider settlement.
Welcome or not, we don't have a choice.
I like how you think. I've got a feeling we're going to get along very well. Now, let's head over to the Outlander Affairs Agency. Most of the current rules were put in place by the administration of Rito, the Kanjo Commission.
The Kanjo Commission?
Ah, yes.
Yes, one branch of the Tri-Commission of Inazuma, responsible for growing and managing the nation's wealth. You really haven't heard of it before?
Okay, speaking of characters. I did acquire some new ones. Let's see. Yes, I did acquire Kazuha for one of the... I did acquire Kazuha as one of the wishes, and that's not all. I do have Klee, and I do have Fisticuffs here, Shikanoi Heizo, and yes, I even got Toma too. Sure, they're not at a strong level yet, but still. Just wanted to show you guys, that's all. Okay. It's a teleport waypoint. Well, I did unlock a teleport waypoint. Okay. Let's head to the Outlander Affairs Agency.
You've completed the entry procedures, yes? And now you want to apply for residency? Both of you?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Okay, the processing fee will be 2 million mora.
2 million? For a processing fee? Are you serious?
Wow. Hold on. Hold on. Let me Whoops. Sorry, for some reason it's... Oh. Ah. I don't understand. For some reason it's not... Hold on. For some reason it's not... What's going on? Did they get stuck for some reason? Nope. Model movement unlocked. Okay. Unlocked all items. Okay. Locked all items and then unlocked. Locked all items and then unlocked. I don't know why, but for some reason it just... It's like they're stuck on me for some reason. Let me see. Remove all items from the scene. There. Now let me reintroduce the items. Sorry about that. Minor technical issues. Okay, now it's much better. Okay, now it's much better. Okay. Oop. I don't know why for some reason it's not... Thank you, many thanks. Okay, much better. Also, sorry about that, I need to get Paimon. Okay. Okay, much better. Just some minor technical issues, it's okay. Also, processing fee 2 million.
That's right. 1 million per applicant, which makes 2 million total. Don't worry, you can trust my math.
The math isn't the issue here.
Paimon wasn't so much questioning your math as...
Ma'am, these two here are good friends of mine. I think you'll find I'm one face you recognize.
Ah, Mr. Toma, it's you. By way of courtesy, allow me to reduce it to 400,000 mora total.
Well, it's still quite expensive, though.
Thank you ever so much, Miss Eureka. But as this is just a processing fee, I think 600 mora should cover it if I'm paying on their behalf. I'll treat you to dinner too. How does that sound?
That's not how you haggle! By all means, bargain the price down!
Quiet!
All right then, as you wish, Mr. Toma. I will make a record.
Much obliged.
Guess we're lucky to have him with us. It's processed smoothly at the Outlander Affairs Agency. And we're done. We're registered, right?
She went from 2 million down to 600? There's something seriously wrong with people's sense of finance around here!
It could be more than just a mora.
It's not as mind-boggling as you think. A processing fee is just a figure of speech. The way some here at the agency see it, the fees are easy money, so it becomes a question of how much they can make. So when the day comes that some poor merchant from overseas with more money than sense gets stuck here and needs to apply for residency...
Then they'll milk them for all they're worth!
Whoa.
Exactly. It's at times like this that having a local friend really comes in handy.
Wow, a blatant oppression against Outlander. No wonder they despise Outlanders.
Yes, but when you're an Outlander in INAZUMA, far from home in this closed nation era, there's very little that can be done about it. The most that overseas merchants can do to look after themselves is stick together. That's how the International Trade Association came about.
So it's a trade association built by and for Outlanders?
Yep. And as well as advancing commercial interests, the association provides help, support, and structure for Outlanders trying to survive on Rito.
Cool.
Essentially, it's an association devoted to both commercial excellence and survival skills.
So how would an Outlander ever get to meet...
Sounds like just staying alive is an achievement when you're an Outlander in INAZUMA.
I see, so staying alive.
I see. So this is the real purpose of your trip. Yes, given that you are Outlanders, it's certainly a lofty aspiration. After all, the Raiden Shogun is the most exalted and revered one in all of INAZUMA. She is a deity who reigns on high, while all other life gazes up in awe.
That may well be.
I was going to say nothing is set in stone when it comes to who you will encounter in this world. Who's to say you won't happen to run into the Raiden Shogun one day after lunch?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And is that likely?
Okay, I'll give it to you straight. I know of a way to introduce you to the Raiden Shogun.
Staying alive. Yeah, the Bee Gees. Yeah, that's right, the Bee Gees. Also, Thomas. Wait, you can do that?
Really?
Sorry for the voice crack. You can do that?
Fixer's better connected than we thought.
Talk about connections. This is ridiculous. And meeting the Raiden Shogun face to face, it's very daunting.
I mean, it will take all the resources I have at my disposal, but it can be done. However, before we get there, connections come at a high price. You understand?
Ah, I knew it. You can tell by the way I use my walk. I'm a woman's man, no time to talk. Weird lyrics, you know? Yes. Yes, indeed.
Not you too.
I figure as much.
No. In this instance, when I say price, I'm not talking about Mora. In fact, there's no real cost as such. It's just that if this is something you really want, you'll have to agree to help other people solve some of their problems first.
Oh, I see. You help them, they help you.
I like to do things in a way that keeps everybody happy. It's my own personal rule for dealing with situations like this.
So you're looking for win-win situations after all.
Sounds very reasonable to Paimon. You're the man in the middle, so you have to trade favors to keep everyone indebted to you.
The Fixer works in mysterious ways.
Why do I get the feeling you're making me out to be some sort of crook? Never mind. Here's the situation. As I touched upon earlier, the members of the International Trade Association are constantly struggling to survive. Recently, things seem to have gotten more difficult than ever for them, so just go and check things out. See if there's any way you can help.
Gotcha.
The head of the association is called Kurisu, and he's a good friend of mine. Go talk to him. I'll wait for you here.
All right, then. So head to the Trade Association. I understand its members, International... This guy, Kurisu.
Huh? Hello there. You must be seeking refuge with the International Trade Association. The Outlander Affairs Agency took you for all you're worth, I suppose.
Very nearly.
Ah, good. That's a relief. You need to be careful, or you'll find yourself losing your savings all at once.
We heard the association has been having some difficulties lately. Is that true?
Yes. Left, right, and center. Obstacles at every turn. But that's nothing new for us.
The Sakoku decree certainly makes things difficult for anyone who wants to come here from overseas.
That's right. No overseas trading means high prices. That could be the case.
But it's not the root cause of our woes. The Sakoku decree might restrict our scope of activity, but in and of itself, it doesn't stop us from being able to enjoy a comfortable existence. No. What's really squeezing us Outlander merchants dry is those Mora grubbers from the Kanjo Commission.
Mora grubbers?
Oh, of
Three
the
commissions.
That's the one that oversees everything on retail, isn't it?
Obstacle course. Good reason to get to know people and ease issues. Yes.
That's right. They impose astronomical tax rate, unbelievable regulations, and that's not the worst of it. They just issued a new tax decree recently that, for some reason, completely changes the way we pay our taxes. It used to be Mora, but now it's something called Crystal Marrow.
Oh, I see. Not only did they raise the price, but they also changed the currency? What kind of decree is that?
Crystal Marrow? What's that?
Something that most of us in the association had never heard of before either, until the new decree came along.
Mondstadt and Liyue use Mora, but this? Seriously?
Eventually, one of the older Liyue merchants recalled that he once shipped a batch of it to Snezhnaya in his youth. So, in order to pay our taxes, we began an arduous search for this Crystal Marrow. But then we found we'd only managed to create a bigger problem for ourselves. The rising demand for Crystal Marrow drove the price higher and higher. Now there's only one vendor who even has it in stock. We can't get a hold of it anywhere else.
Isn't that what they call a monopoly?
Exactly. So this vendor keeps pushing the price up, and we have no choice but to buy from them because the tax decree forces us to. It's a vicious cycle. The consequence of which is that our taxes will soon exceed our profits. And once that happens...
This is absurd.
We've tried communicating with the Commission directly.
But the Commission fell on deaf ears.
But this is a nation where the cries of a few struggling merchants will never be heard over the ever-present roar of thunder. Fontaine, my dear homeland. I miss you an awful lot at the moment.
Sounds awful. They're really bleeding them dry. What do you think we should do?
I'm not sure we can negotiate with the Kanjo Commission, seeing that we don't have power, and they don't know how much worth we are, and even if, they may dismiss us. But the vendor does sound like a fishy character, though.
That vendor. I've actually done business with him in the past, but after a point he stopped contacting us. I have no idea where he sources this stuff.
Yep, fishy behavior indeed.
Well, it definitely sounds like he's being unfair. How do we find him? We could go talk to him and see if he lets anything slip.
Hey, that's a pretty good idea. Since you're not affiliated with the association and you're new to Rito, he may just let his guard down.
That's right, we just arrived here. New arrivals with no other... Yeah, you get the point.
If I remember correctly, our usual meeting point with him is under a tree by the coast in the residential district. See if you can find him there.
Got it! We're on the case!
Okay. So yeah, could be that. So yeah, it looks like I may end up, let's see. It looks like I may end up extending the stream a little bit, just so we can complete this chapter. That's the contact.
Huh? I don't think I recognize you. Are you new arrivals?
We've just arrived.
So, what do you need with me?
Question, where do you source your goods? Or you can't say.
The sheer nerve. You don't go around asking questions like that. If I gave you my sources, I might as well hand you the whole darn business.
24-hour stream confirmed. Nope, I don't do 24-hour streams. I'm not gonna do that yet. And besides, 24-hour stream, that long, it could be, it's really daunting. I mean, and considering that I'm using a gaming laptop right now, I might as well have to use an actual desktop, but I don't have enough room for it at the moment.
Trade secret, got it? You know what trade and secret mean, right?
Oh, I know.
This guy's got a bad attitude.
Okay, what about your prices? Is it possible to reduce them?
Ha! Are you even buying? Oh, I see what's going on here. Kurisu and his associates sent you here to try and plead their case, didn't they?
Considering this quest is sorting out all the problems of all the tradesmen of the nation, figured it could take a while. Well, not like 24 hours long. I mean, it could be for like another hour or two, but still.
They're wasting their time. The price is non-negotiable, not by a single Mora.
Hey, what's your problem?
Get out of here, go on. Tell them they're lucky to be buying from me in the first place, and they ought to be more grateful. If it weren't for me, they'd be in seriously hot water.
What are we gonna do? There's no talking to this guy.
Well, we have no other person but to... We don't have any other else to turn to other than him.
Good idea. Let's check back in with him.
I know what you're thinking. It may not be possible to ask him as such, but it may not be possible for him to help out as such, but let's just go ask him and give it a shot.
That was quick. You resolved it already?
Far from it.
Actually, we're having a little trouble.
We're gonna have to help us help you.
Oh? Well, by all means, tell me what you need. I'll help as much as I can. Getting you to go fixing things when you've only just arrived is quite a demand.
What do you know about this Warner guy?
Oh, that guy? I'm familiar. He used to be a bit of a sorry sight, selling shells that he collect on the beach just to get by. But he seems to have suddenly shot up in the world recently. I can only assume he must have found himself a patron after leaving the International Trade Association.
Huh. You're saying he used to be a member of the International Trade Association? So he's an Outlander too?
Makes sense.
Yes. Couldn't you tell when you spoke to him?
Seems someone from Mondstadt.
That's right. Werner was born in Mondstadt, then went into the shipping business, trading between Leah and Inazuma. When Inazuma closed to the outside world, he was one of a group of Outlanders that ended up stranded on Rito.
What a bummer!
The International Trade Association was initially very generous to him, but over time, with decree after decree, the association members found it increasingly difficult to make ends meet.
So he left the association and turned his back on them.
I'm sure it's more nuanced than that. I believe even the most ungrateful and cold-hearted of people still have some amount of gratitude and warmth left in them somewhere.
Got it.
Really? Is that all you need to know?
Well then, it sounds like you may have found a way in with him.
Okay. Let's renegotiate with him. Then let's renegotiate with him.
What are you doing back here? Just because I got plenty of time on my hands doesn't mean I want to waste any of it talking to you.
Well, time on your hands, some would call that a form of freedom.
Huh? Where's this coming from?
A dandelion Y would sure be nice on a day like this.
Mondstadt? You were talking about Mondstadt.
Let's see. What item should I give you? Small lamp grass. Do you recognize this item?
Goodness, I can sense it now. So familiar, but I can't remember the last time I was there. The scent of Mondstadt. Oh, how it takes me back.
Remember, may the animal Archon protect you?
Oh, my hometown. The home of freedom. How I long to go back and visit.
It's working!
So, trying to play my heartstrings like a liar, are you? I know what you're up to.
Just close your eyes.
Huh? What is this? What are you up to now?
Close your eyes.
Just close your eyes already!
Listen closely. Doesn't it sound familiar?
You mean the sound of the ocean?
Cheap and tasty, chop suey.
Leah Harbor. I can see it so clearly. Oh, and the sound of the waves. The calls of the merchants.
May the flames of virtue spread to all.
Xiao lanterns. I'm right there at the lantern right. Oh, look at them floating up into the sky.
This guy has a really active imagination. Either that or he really does miss Leah Harbor.
Either way.
Leah.
And speaking of shells, wait a minute. Here, Starconch.
Wait. Stop. That's enough. Don't make me relive it anymore. My poor heart can't take it.
A lot of people out there sympathize with the position you're in.
You mean the folks from the International Trade Association? And I suppose they are far from home, just like me.
Exactly.
Often, I'll sneak down to the shore at night and listen to the sound of the waves. I like to imagine it's the voice of my hometown, carried across the ocean. I've run into folks from the association more than a few times doing just that, but I always hide my face and slip away. Don't you think I've wanted to talk things through with them and free myself from this anguish?
Well, no one's stopping you, so...
Yeah.
They're so resilient. None of them had anyone else to rely on, so they rallied together, committed to finding a way to survive. But I couldn't do it. I'm not strong enough. So I caved. Those people, they'd make the smallest of promises, offer the most measly benefits, and I'd do whatever they asked of me. And make Mondstadters look like the worst people in the world.
And those people, you mean by who?
All right. I'll tell you the whole story. It's eating me up inside, and I can't take it anymore.
You ready to talk now?
Don't worry, the ITA will protect you.
But I betrayed them. I can't show my face there.
Come on, you scaredy cat. Look, you messed up, but now
Yeah,
So come on, get it off your chest. What's the deal here?
that's right. Go for it.
It's a scheme by the tax collection Ashigaru. Keijiro and his companions. They start by overtaxing the merchants, then take the extra crystal marrow they receive and stockpile it. Once the merchants run out of places to buy crystal marrow, they get me to sell that extra stock back to the merchants at an extortionate price, with the proceeds going to the tax collection Ashigaru.
It's plain evil gouging them like this.
That's right. It's not a good excuse for extortion. At this rate, the entire country's money and economy will go down. And then what will they do? Will they be able to keep on financing their soldiers? Let alone the whole closed nation policy. They will have no choice but to reopen the nation again.
I'm their puppet, yes. But my cut is a tiny fraction of what we take in total. It's barely enough for me to live on.
We'll need evidence.
Evidence? You're right. Without conclusive evidence, he will never admit it. Now that I think about it, whenever I report back to him after a sale, he always heads to the same place. It's always made me suspicious. As it happens, I handed some Mora over to him not long ago. I can show you where he went if you want.
Really? Well, then there's no time to lose. Let's go.
Okay. So it's not just that. It's not only the tax issue, but also extortion. They're going to run this country dry. This is ridiculous. They'll run the country dry. I just know it. Inazuma is going down a dark path.
Keijiro! It's him!
After him!
Get him!
Should I close early? It's not like I'll get any customers.
If I follow a different direction...
Sorry. I need to think about it.
Hurry up. Too close! That's too close! He's getting further and further away! Let's catch up a little. He's getting further and further away!
Shut up!
Now, who else is behind on payments? Let me think. Yes, the trade association clique still needs to be brought into line.
So he's definitely not right about this.
What was that sound?
Quiet! Don't let him find us!
Must be here.
He's getting further and further away! Let's catch up a little.
Shut up. What the?
Huh? Where'd he go? He was right there a moment ago. Seems he disappeared in a blink of an eye.
Seriously, I wasn't that far from him.
Only made less noise.
Seriously, it wasn't that far.
Keijiro! It's him!
After him!
Ugh. What's wrong with this game? They don't even know what to... For a game that doesn't even handle stealth elements properly, they should really take notes on Metal Gear Solid. Seriously, these guys don't even know how to make a good game if it bit them on the head. If it hit them on the head, I mean. They don't even know if a good game if it hit him on the head. The game needs you to stay within half a block, I fear.
All the better thanks to your generous
I fear.
patronage.
Good. Thankfully, I earned plenty these days.
Oh, but of course, tax collection is difficult work.
Now, who...
Too close! That's too close! He's getting further and further away! Let's catch up a little.
What was that sound?
Quiet! Don't let him find us!
Must be hearing things. Drat, I'm behind schedule. I need to hurry.
Made it. Be very quiet.
What could he be doing at a place like this?
It looked like he buried something over there, didn't it? Why don't we take a look?
Okay, but keep your wits about you. If this is evidence, we'll need it. I'll keep an eye out.
Whoa, it's a ledger. Boring. Paimon thought he'd hidden a big pile of Mora here.
And that's the real reason Paimon came along.
Yeah.
Let me take a look here. Ah, yes! This is what we're looking for. A clear and complete record of every single transaction, each one proof of his guilt.
Great! Well, now we have our hard evidence. Let's go tell Karisu the good news, shall we?
I'll say goodbye to you here then.
What?
Huh? You aren't gonna come with us?
I need a little more time before I'm ready to face the head of the association. I'm sorry.
Huh. Poor Werner's a pretty awkward guy, huh?
Adventure time!
I guess we'll go and talk to the commission about this. Warner better not get himself in trouble.
But we really don't have anything left. If this keeps up, our sales will come in at a loss. There'll be nothing left for us to do but starve.
You know the decree. The rules are the rules. No discounts, no exceptions, and no excuses.
You're making the mockery of the rules here, by the way.
And who are you? Another new member of the association?
No, not yet.
It just so happens that we found your little ledger, so now we're here to tell everyone all about how you embezzled crystal marrow to sell it right back to the taxpayers.
Huh? Is this true?
You've been swindling us.
That's right. It's a swindle.
You see, the taxes,
Let me take a look at the ledger.
Here you go.
Well, would you look at that? Every payment the association has made is right here in your personal ledger. So, Mr. Keijiro, it seems you have some explaining to do. How shall we settle this,
So you think you can use this against me, do you? It's quite obvious that I'm merely trying to earn a modest living for myself, like anyone else.
Oh, I'm sure about that.
Word has it that Samurai and the Commission place great importance on reputation and prestige. Though I'm sure Commission members won't blame you once word gets out.
Huh? Is that a threat? Are you threatening me?
No, not at all. I'm simply stating that it would be quite a pity if an illustrious gentleman such as yourself were to have their reputation tarnished.
And we don't want that, right? We don't want someone's reputation to go down the drain, right?
Well, even if what you say is true, what do you suggest we do about it?
I believe you still have a quantity of crystal marrow in your possession. Correct? Perhaps that crystal marrow could be used as compensation for the recent tax hike, and us merchants could finally have some more breathing room.
Is that it?
Do you have any idea the hoops I had to jump through to get the crystal marrow and keep it hidden? Fine. In that case, I'll send it over to you today.
And not even an ounce of shame for his actions.
So that's it? My shop's been closed for weeks now. I've even had to ask my friends to help bail me out. What about my losses?
Come on, Harrison. We've already struck a good deal here.
It's a start.
I'm sick of being pushed around like this. I won't let him off so easily.
Harrison.
Don't eat your words.
Hey, what's all this racket? Does someone dare question the decree?
Chief, you've arrived.
This ain't good.
What was all the commotion I heard just now?
Oh, we were just discussing a minor tax issue. I do my utmost to lend them a helping hand, but they're never grateful.
A helping hand? The only thing you're doing is stuffing your greedy pockets with our hard-earned wealth. I assure you that Hirage Shinsuke will hear of this.
Who?
Oh, and you dare to utter the commissioner's name. You Outlanders have no respect for the rules. Seize the merchants. We will resolve this dispute back at headquarters.
Uh-oh. This is going in a bad direction.
This is really bad.
Gentlemen, come now. Is there any need for this? If there's a dispute to resolve, let's get a drink and talk it over.
Who are you supposed to be? And why in my right mind would I join you for a drink?
You never heard of the Fixer?
Context, Paimon, context.
Here's my card.
Huh. You're from the Yashiro Commission.
Shh.
Huh. Well, this is Kanjo Commission territory. However powerful the Yashiro Commission may be, you have no business meddling in Rito's affairs.
Of course not. Still, perhaps you could show the young...
What the...
lady of our clan some courtesy. You wouldn't want your name showing up in a petition to the Shogun, would you?
That fan, the Shirasagi Himegimi. I don't need any trouble with her. Okay, let's forget all this. It'll give us one less thing to worry about.
But, Chief!
Enough! We're leaving.
Let's get dinner one day soon, gentlemen. My treat, I insist. No response, huh? I suppose that bridge is well and truly burned then.
Thank you so much, Toma. But I'm sorry your relationship with the Kanjo Commission had to suffer for our sake.
Hey, I was joking. It's a small price to pay, and you're more than welcome. If there's anyone you should be thanking, it's the Traveler. He's the one who found a way to turn things around.
Well, let's just say it's a start. We didn't do much, actually.
If nothing else, I'm sure the tax collection Ashigaru will tread a little more carefully in the future.
Toma, what was all that?
Shh, not here.
That's
Too many
right.
people listening. Let's move somewhere else.
You and your big mouth there. Really, you and your big mouth.
Corruption seems rife in the Kanjo Commission. They truly are rotten to the core.
I knew it. Nah, I've seen too many of my fair share during the Soul Century War.
All right, time for me to answer your questions. What would you like to know?
First off, Yashiro Commission.
Straight to the point. Let me reintroduce myself. I belong to the Kamisato clan of the Yashiro Commission on Narukami Island. I'm an attendant of the Shirasagi Himegimi.
You've been keeping your true identity a secret from us this whole time? So, the Yashiro Commission. Guessing that's another branch of the Tri-Commission?
Correct. The Kamisato clan is the head of the Yashiro Commission, who manage ceremonial and cultural affairs. I'd go into more detail on what exactly that covers, but I'm not even sure myself.
If Paimon's mouth was as drawn as large as is needed for how loose she is with information, it could swallow the world. It could! Yeah.
I'm just someone who was fortunate enough to be taken in by the Kamisato clan. My role is to take care of the daughter of the clan, Kamisato Ayaka, also known as the Shirasagi Himegimi.
Seems like she must be super famous in Inazuma, given the reaction of those guys just now.
Somebody tells me they don't want to face her wrath.
Oh, most definitely. She's graceful, dignified, and kind-hearted, too. The people of Inazuma quite adore Miss Kamisato. Her fame even somewhat eclipses that of her older brother, Kamisato Ayato, despite the fact that he's the current head of the clan. I suppose those who treat others with compassion earn themselves the same treatment in return. Miss Kamisato's situation certainly seems to attest to that. Take me, for example. I'm just an attendant, and yet she treats me as an equal, as she would a friend.
So the idea of this Fixer of Rito thing.
You're asking the right questions. And to be honest, I don't want to keep you in the dark any more than is necessary. Firstly, you should know that being a fixer is not something you can fake. I spent the better part of a month tirelessly building up a network of relationships on the island. And I got to know Captain Beto during that time too.
Communication and connections.
Still pretty good going for just a month's work.
You got a good foundation.
Well, maybe I have a slight knack for schmoozery. But the main thing was, I had to make sure I'd be in time to receive you when you arrived. Inazuma may have closed off to the outside world, but that hasn't stopped a lot of people from hearing about your feats in Mondstadt and Liyue. So, when Miss Kamisato heard of your intention to come to Inazuma, she began looking forward to your arrival with great anticipation. She's excited to find out whether the rumors are true.
That explains why you also showed up when the when we arrived. That would explain how you came. You not only are waiting for Captain Beidou to greet her, but also for us to come. Wow, talk about better prepared. This is amazing.
That is, that you have what it takes to change the tide of the times.
Change the tide of the times?
Change the tide of the times. Basically, we have what it takes to change things around here.
In the test I gave you earlier, although there were a few hiccups at the end, it was you who found the way to turn the situation around.
That's right.
Navigating powerful people, using their character flaws to your advantage. It's just what Miss Kamisato had hoped to see. With your help, even the Vision Hunt decree.
But we never offered to help.
That's an unexpected development. Perhaps our sources were misleading.
Actually, we're here to meet with we have a goal. To meet with the Raiden Shogun herself.
Yes, of course. I completely understand, and as agreed, I shall help set that up for you.
Sorry to bring your hopes down, but still... we have other reasons here. If we wanted to come... We would have told you sooner if we wanted to help out INAZUMA, but still.
Toma sure didn't put up much of a fight.
Wow.
Well, my work on Rito is done. So I suppose this is goodbye for now. One more thing. This invitation letter is for you. When you get to Narukami Island, you can find me at the Komori Tea House, as per the letter. Good luck with everything. See you soon.
You too.
Toma's not such a bad guy, huh? We should get going.
There is one problem, though.
Huh? What's up?
Outlanders are unable to leave Rito.
Oh, right! Paimon forgot all about that! Wait, so did Toma forget that too?
This must be the next part of his test.
Oh, darn it! No wonder he was so matter-of-fact about the whole thing! As soon as we get off Ritu, Paimon's going straight to Komori Tea House to settle the score! Well, guess we should give it a try. Let's head to the border and see how far we get.
If heading to the border and see how far we get, that would be a danger. That's a risky gamble we don't want to take. But Paimon insists that we have to. We do have the invitation letter, which is good, but there's no way we can leave Rito. We're unable to do so. So there's no way they'll basically just stop us dead in the tracks. Sorry, but there's no way we can pass.
Stop there. Present your travel permits.
Sorry,
I knew
but
it.
we really gotta get to Narukami Island. It's kinda urgent.
If you don't have a travel permit, this is as far as you'll get. Those are the rules.
Understood.
As expected.
Understood.
Traveler, you gotta think of something. How do we get out of Rito?
If the Yashiro Commission has ever heard of us.
Are you saying we should go and meet with the Kanjo Commissioner? Guess it can't hurt to try. Even if Paimon has a few choice words to say about his subordinates, who knows? Maybe he's our biggest fan.
We have no idea what to expect. Let's just go and talk to him. We have no idea what to expect, so let's just go. We just need to figure out how to ask for travel permits.
Halt! This is the Kanjo Commissioner's office. No trespassers.
We're here to see,
The Kanjo Commissioner seldom entertains Outlanders. Leave now or we'll be forced to...
This might be the best place to save for now if you can remember to meet him the next time you play. Hold on, the chapter is far from over.
Wait.
Huh?
Oh, Commissioner!
These two are honored guests from afar. No need to give them the usual spiel. Come on in. Let's see what we can do for you.
did you get all that, mister?
Paimon, shut it.
My sincere apologies.
Okay then. The Kanjo Commission, Shinsuke.
I am Hiragi Shinsuke, Kanjo Commissioner and head of the Hiragi clan. It It's an honor to meet you both.
Likewise, I am also honored to meet with you.
Nice to meet you, sir. So, the reason we wanted to come and see you was because...
All right, all in good time. 2 travelers renowned far and wide have shown up to see me, and I should very much like to make their acquaintance. Let's not limit this to business only.
So what you're saying is, we really are pretty famous, huh?
So, I guess the rumors spread far and wide, even around here. Valkyrie is raiding. We've been raided. Hello there, Valkyrie. Hey, good to see you. Hi. Yeah, your prince is extending his stream a bit because your prince has just arrived at INAZUMA Island, and he had to tackle with the immigration over there at the island. So how did Bound Mex go for you? I did took a quick peek at you. Hi, brother. I thought I pounced before you left. Don't worry, you're lucky this time because your prince has extended the stream just a bit, just to complete this chapter for now. So, anyways, moving around, it seems that INAZUMA is no stranger when it comes to rumors spread far and wide. Did well. I got 2 campaign missions done. Wow, you really are nailing it so far. You really are nailing it with the campaign missions. Spock mauled a few people with his atlas. Ooh, nice. Looks like Spock lent a helping hand here. Cool.
Absolutely. How many other people in the world have what it takes to knock the wind out of Storm Terror's sails and put the Overlord of the Vortex back under the sea, eh?
Exactly! Paimon thinks you make an excellent point.
That's true.
And I hear you also foiled a Fatui plot in Liyue Harbor. Even beat one of their harbingers in a duel. Is that true?
That is true.
Whoa!
You even heard about that too?
Yep. It's true, all right.
Wow. I guess rumors do spread far and wide. Sometimes exaggerated, otherwise straight to the point. Damn.
As I thought.
Something wrong?
No. I'm simply awestruck by you both is all.
You're too kind, sir.
Rito is greatly honored to have you visit us. One other thing I heard about you is your great zeal for helping other people. This makes me wonder whether you might be so kind as to render your assistance to the Conjo Commission.
Oh, sure, no problem. Whatever you need, right?
Well, more errands. This is basically our forte. At least the original Atlas is still holding up the heavens. It doesn't need replacement. Oh my god. This is definitely a roast.
Excellent. Well then, you must know the Genshin. A flower grows on the mountaintops of Liyue.
Of course.
Yep, we've picked a few of those before. So, you want us to go back to Liyue?
Yes, bring me 300 Genshin, would you? Freshly picked, I mean.
Whoa, that's a huge amount.
Did Paimon hear that wrong?
Well, you know what they say, they don't stay fresh after they're picked.
Too much trouble, is it? I see. Then how about this? We have a few items that need delivering. Perhaps you can help with that?
That sounds much more like it.
Cool.
709 letters to be precise.
Whoa!
Hey, what gives? How come you don't have people to do that already?
You don't have enough staff?
Terribly sorry. We're just a little short on people lately.
Aww.
What sort of an explanation is that?
Huh?
Traveler, what are we going to do? Should we really help this guy?
I'll consider it.
That's the spirit. Don't keep me waiting too long now.
You're seriously considering taking this job? The terms are ridiculous.
Well, we need to figure out some way to do it. There has to be something to do. Anything. We need to do something. There's got to be something to do.
Halt, you two!
Just as I saw this coming from a mile away.
Huh? What did we do?
Miss Hiragi has a letter for you. She insists that you read it immediately.
Oh.
A letter? Quick!
Okay.
Let Paimon see!
Okay. Letter is as follows. Dear travelers, would that I could convey this message to you in person. I apologize for the hasty means by which this letter has come to you, and I hope that it hasn't left you feeling perplexed or perturbed in any way. This is my first time extending an invitation to an unknown outlander, after all. It is no mere coincidence that our paths have crossed. Therefore, I hope that you would be so courteous as to meet me tonight, under the glow of resplendent moonlight. Please do not fret about retainers and bodyguards. I will ensure that their attention shall be elsewhere. I look forward to the pleasure of your company. Wow.
So this means she wants you to secretly meet her at night?
Well, that is the case.
But you didn't seem surprised at all by this. What's going on?
There was a bit of a glance we shared.
Huh? Have you been up to something behind Paimon's back? Let's ask her tonight and see what she has to say.
Alright. Our answers lie with talking to her in person. Seems our answers lie in talking to her in person. Was eating chocolate pie behind Paimon's back. Hey, leave that. Don't do. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do? Come on, man. Alright, we've arrived at the usual spot.
Ah, you finally arrived. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Hiragi Chisato.
PrinceSadhanaAZola.
This is technically the second time we have met. It's a pleasure to see you again.
Likewise.
Wow. She's the daughter of the Hiragi clan, all right.
The pleasure's mine.
No need to be so formal. I've long marveled at your accomplishments. And at last, we have the chance to meet.
Is it Paimon, or does something seem a bit off here?
The reason why I wanted to secretly meet you here is, well, I feared that I might never have another opportunity to discuss this with you.
Trying? My mom bought me some pocket pies and ate a chocolate pudding one without Paimon noticing. Ah! That's what you're trying to say.
Discuss what?
I should like to ask for your help with delivering a letter.
Letter?
Like father, like daughter.
I knew it.
Couldn't you be more original?
Delivering letters again, huh?
No, you misunderstand me. Please, allow me to explain. I was hoping that you could deliver a letter to Narukami Island in my stead. It is to be given to Kujo Kamachi of the Tenryou Commission. My father has always forbidden me from communicating with him. He knows that there are prospects for my marriage that would better serve him politically. But my heart is with Kamachi. There is no one who would dare defy my father's will on Rito, but you are Outlanders. Outlanders seeking to get to Narukami Island. It would be regrettable to let such an opportunity pass.
Oh, Paimon gets the whole picture now.
Of course, in doing so, I will also do everything in my power to help you leave Rito. That is my promise.
Seems like a reasonable deal.
To be perfectly honest, as long as you remain in Inazuma, my father will have no intention of letting you leave Rito.
Yeah, we figured as much. It was pretty obvious he was just trying to hold us up here.
I secretly overheard a conversation between my father and a very arrogant-sounding woman just a few days ago. They seemed to be discussing how to keep you here on Rito. In fact, it was the first time I had ever heard my father speak so respectfully to someone who wasn't the Shogun.
An arrogant-sounding woman?
We don't have much time. I'll tell you my plans to help you off the island. It just so happens that a shipment of goods is...
The traveler, her plans.
Very well. I'll be waiting for you at the border. I'm counting on you to deliver my letter.
Of course. Go to the border and carry out Chisato's plan. So I guess Chisato has a plan, huh? Very mysterious, but very helpful indeed. So we have to head to the border.
Hold on, please. These goods are being sent to Watatsumi Island?
My lady, This is an unexpected honor. You are correct. These goods have been repeatedly requested by the Kanjo Commissioner. We must be certain that they reach Watatsumi Island intact.
Is there something wrong, Lady Hiragi?
No, as you were. My father simply has some concerns of the shipment's safety, and has ordered that myself and an additional qualified escort be dispatched to ensure safe transport of the goods.
My lady, you aren't suggesting that you intend to escort this shipment personally, are you? There's certainly no need for you to trouble yourself with such a matter. And as for this qualified escort...
We look forward to working with you.
Please, do not cause us any further delay. If memory serves me right, my father has already asserted that this shipment must arrive on time. I'm certain punishment will be duly dispensed if it fails to do so.
Yes, of course, my lady. It's just that, well, we don't know who this...
Now, need I remind you of the penalty if anything were to happen to me en route? I'm sure you are all quite familiar with my father's temperament. Do you really presume that you can fully guarantee my safety on your own?
Ooh.
Boy, Chisato can talk the talk. They don't stand a chance.
Wow, taking notes.
Yes, my lady. Very well then. It's an honor to have you accompanying us. Your safety is our highest priority.
Shinojo, you can't really be agreeing to this.
Well, the request is from Lady Hiragi herself. It is our duty to serve her in the utmost capacity.
If it's a request from the members from up top or the ultimate top, him or herself, why can't... Do you see any reason to resist?
Yes, but that's not the problem here.
Well then, if we're through here, I suggest we set off at once. Dawdling will only allow potential thieves more time to prepare, no?
Yes, my lady. You heard her. There's no time to lose.
Let's make our way. Paimon saying obvious sounds better in Japanese. Okay.
My lady, please stay back. We'll handle it.
Not as well as we'll handle it.
We got this. We got this. Oh!
Another test. That tingle. I got careless.
No, you don't. These guys hit hard.
Freeze!
Let's go. Oh no, you seriously?
Monster sighted. Prepare to counterattack. Protect Lady Hiragi at all costs.
We'll take care of this. Stay with yourself.
I got this.
Worthless. Picked the wrong test subject.
Are those hilichurls again?
Useless. Watch out!
Oh no, you don't.
More monsters inbound. Lady Hiragi, stay close.
Oh no, you don't.
Worthless.
This is taking too long.
Attaboy!
Woo! We made it.
We can take refuge in the village up ahead. How are you faring, my lady?
I'm perfectly all right. You may stop here. The road to Narukami Island is just over there. In my letter, I've requested Kamaji to grant you a special travel permit from the Tenryou Commission. Consider it a token of my appreciation.
Many thanks, Chisato.
My lady.
Lady Chisato.
So that's how it is. I had a feeling something was amiss, but Shinojo, you...
No, Lady Hiragi would never hide anything from us, I'm sure of it. But who is this Kamaji you speak of, my lady?
I'm not afraid to say that he's the one I love.
The one you love?
Shinojo, did you honestly think that...
What? No, I was just clarifying, that's all. I would never in my wildest dreams,
You two needn't worry. Please, forget that this ever happened. If my father catches word of it, I alone will be held accountable.
Yes, of course. As you wish, my lady.
But what will happen if your actions here are discovered, Chisato?
Don't fret. My father has always been one to spoil me. The worst he'd do is sentence me to half a day without food, or something to that effect.
Huh. Paimon never suspected a guy like him could have a soft side.
I wish you a safe journey. I'm sure we will meet again.
Likewise, lady.
Bye, Chisato!
Likewise, Lady Chisato.
Come now. Quit your staring and let's get moving. We've got goods to shift.
That's right.
All right.
AFK feels like I need to swap ice. All right. Sacred Sakura's flavor. Offer the electric sigils.
Whew! We're finally on our own way again.
That's cool.
I suppose it's time we find Toma. Now, where did he say he would meet us again? Oh, right! Komori Tea House.
We're still at the chapter 1 of this. It seems like a long trek from here. We'll just make our way past through the village. Ooh! We'll need the teleportation waypoint here. If we pass by any teleportation waypoints around, then we will we'll take those chances. Try to stay away from conflict as much as possible. It seems there are even hilly trails over here at these parts. Right. Nope. You're not gonna catch me. Sorry, not happening. Not in the mood to fight you guys right now. Ooh, viewpoint. Suburbs, Inazuma City. We're not too far. Let's just head on over there. Sorry, I've been so invested in Genshin recently, and I've been recently invested in Multiverses as well. The new game that I played Wednesday. Let's head on over to the tea house, shall we? It's just over yonder. We now have permission to leave Rito, which is good. Multiverses, what's that? It's a Smash Brothers style game. It's basically Smash Brothers, but with characters from Warner Brothers.
What kind of tea is this?
It's one of the recent games to come out, and it's free to play.
According to the letter, this should be the place.
Sorry, we don't serve the general public. I'm afraid you'll have to leave.
Wait! We're not the general public.
Well then, you must be a couple of wandering outlanders that snuck into the nation.
Judging for the entire flavor of it. Ah.
Are our clothes really so... what Paimon means to say is...
We have an invitation letter.
The Yashiro Commission's seal. This must be from Mr. Toma. It seems there's more to you than meets the eye. In which case, welcome to the Komore Tea House, a safe haven for the Yashiro Commission.
Well, that sounds more like it.
Jeez, talk about unfriendly attitudes here. Guess the entire country doesn't take kindly to Outlanders. Let me guess, is the entire country ruled on fear? That could be the reason. So yeah, Multiverses is basically a Smash Brothers clone. And yes, say what you want, it may not be better than Smash Brothers, but it is better than that Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl game.
Well, now that we're here, where's Toma?
He should be around here. Also, side note, yes, you get to play as various Looney Tunes characters, DC comic characters, characters from Adventure Time, characters from Steven Universe, and even Tom and Jerry. Yeah. Alright, back to the plot.
Paimon doesn't see him anywhere. Do you think he forgot his promise to meet us?
Who forgot their promise? I was beginning to think you'd forgotten about me.
What?
What? Is that dog talking to us?
Relax. No need to look so surprised. I take it this is the first time you've seen me in this form?
You're a dog?
Huh. So you didn't see anything like this when you were in Liyue Harbor?
For more than a century, Dutch traders had to make fools of themselves to not be instantly killed by samurai, and the Dutch were the only outlanders that were allowed to trade in the island nation. Ah, yes. This harkens back to seeing a video by Bill Wirtz called History of Japan. And yes, the only ones to do trading with the outside world are the Dutch. That's right.
Now that you mention it, this does suddenly seem less out of the ordinary.
Yet it still doesn't really add up.
All right. I've had my fun.
I knew it.
Hey, you're this close to getting an ugly nickname, mister.
Trust me, Paimon is a whiz when it comes to that.
Well, I've had some time to kill, given that I've been waiting here for you for so long, as was the case in Rito. So I came up with this little fun greeting for when you arrived. But in all seriousness, I would like to apologize about that little test you went through earlier. Though it was quite necessary. It helped us determine whether or not to bring you before Miss Kamisato, and whether you had the courage to face the lightning alongside us.
Don't think that Paimon's gonna forgive you just because you're getting all serious now.
Sorry, did I overdo it? My apologies.
About this so-called test, what's your assessment?
Let me just say this. You've often found yourself skirting the rules from the very beginning, haven't you?
Yes.
Naturally, this is due to your unwavering and resolute determination. A long time ago, we had a friend who was much the same. But when the lightning struck...
You mean Kazuha's friend?
Ah, so you've heard of his story. His light still burns all the more brightly.
That means we'll be allowed to meet with the Shirasagi Himegimi.
Yes, of course. I will bring you to the Kamisato residence where the Yashiro Commission is located. But before that, there is one other place I was hoping you both would accompany me to.
Oh? Where?
I would like you to come with me to the statue of the omnipresent god. It's still under construction now, but you can already see it from practically anywhere on Narukami Island.
Ah, okay. Well, we still have a long way to go, and we got plenty of time to do it. This mission is getting longer than I thought. And I thought the first part was long. And I thought the prologue chapter was long, I mean. This is a bit long. And I mean prologue chapter as in like for this one. For the Inazuma story, I mean. Face the lightning, that is literal. Yes, yes. Face the lightning, basically face the danger. Face the threat. Head on. Once again, it's not too far from here, so... Ha, loophole. One of the clips in commercials not too long ago involved going into stormy islands and shutting down literal lightning creating points. When I say literal, I mean it. Whoa.
Can't catch me!
Statue of the omnipresent god.
This area sure feels gloomy. People probably don't come here often, do they? Huh? Are Paimon's eyes playing tricks? Or are there things embedded in the statue?
Visions.
Visions. I knew it.
Visions? You mean all the visions that are collected from the Vision Hunt Decree are put into the statue?
So you've already heard of the Vision Hunt Decree?
Yes, but why did the Shogun issue the Vision Hunt Decree? Is it because no one will be able to challenge her?
Before I try to explain, I should perhaps remind you first that Mondstadt is the city of freedom, and Liyue is the city of contracts. As for Inazuma, it's known as the Nation of Eternity. The Raiden Shogun is both the nation's most powerful ruler and its deity. The eternity in question is her endless and unchanging will to rule over Inazuma. As such, she relies on the Tri-Commission to regulate the nation's affairs and the Sakoku Decree to limit the people's movement. The Shogun wishes to keep Inazuma in stasis, allowing the stream of time to flow from one end to the other without disturbing it for all time.
Seems like every god has their own will.
That's right.
Of course, this is my own limited understanding. As for the reason behind the recent Vision Hunt Decree, perhaps the Shogun believes that visions grant people the power to change, and that her eternity doesn't allow for such instability to exist.
Ah, things that would threaten the stability of the nation.
Whatever the case, the fact is that the Raiden Shogun has dispatched the Tenryo Commission to scour the nation for visions, embedding each one in this statue. And this statue of the omnipresent god can be seen as Inazuma's symbol of eternity.
But if that's the case, wouldn't you say that the Raiden Shogun is being, I don't know, selfish?
Only outlanders such as yourselves would ever dare speak out so directly against the Raiden Shogun.
Well, if you think about it, it's not... It may seem to be the case, but... It may seem far-fetched, but it does seem like a case.
And yet, I agree. The Vision Hunt Decree is something that simply should not exist. And Miss Kamisato has been committed to fighting it since the day it was announced.
What is that? Yeah.
Huh?
Did we just...
Hey, are you okay? You look like your mind is elsewhere.
That sound. We just heard it.
Sound? What sound? I didn't hear anything. Did something happen?
Yeah, you touched the statue, and then what?
The sound of people's aspirations.
Aspirations? That would seem to confirm the saying. Have you heard it before? That when a person's ambition reaches a certain strength, the gods look upon them with favor. That is where visions come from. In other words, a person's vision represents their ambition.
I see.
So if what you just said is true, then the ambitions of these people are stronger than I imagined.
So it symbolizes ambition and not power.
All right, time for the next stop on our tour of Narukami Island, the Kamisato residence.
All right.
Finally!
The last leg of our trip. We'll head to the Kamisato estate. Whoa, that is way too long. Considering that this is a new area, it's practically unavoidable. This is a new area we're already in. Let's see, what does the map say? Aha. I'm not so sure, considering that I don't...
Can't catch me.
It's going to be a long trek now. Adventurers Guild? No, I'm not doing that quest line. I have to head to the Kamisato estate first. This is really a long trek indeed. Well, we're gonna have to glide. We're gonna have to use a shortcut for this one. Let's try to avoid unnecessary conflict. Alright. Managed to get past there. Now we just need to climb, climb, climb. And let's avoid any unnecessary conflict. Whoa. Not interested in fighting any enemies right now. The only thing I'm interested in is just getting to that area. Jinju Forest. Woo! Ah, there's the main road. There we go. We took a shortcut, which is good. What was that? Activated waypoint. Whoa, the Kamisato estate. Prim and proper. This is where we need to go. The Kamisato. The Yashiro Commission's HQ. It seems the Yashiro Commission seems to be the only one who seems to favor outlanders. Outsiders. I mean, outlanders is a unique way, but outsiders, you know what, never mind. Either way goes, they're not incorrect.
So, this is the kind of place where the big shots of Inazuma live, huh? Paimon kinda expected it to be snazzier.
Well, it's hard to top the Jade Chamber. Now that's amazing.
Welcome at last to the Kamisato residence, honored guest. Miss Kamisato is delighted to finally meet you.
Is this the Shirasage Himegimi you keep going on about? So, where's she at?
She's here.
Behind the screen?
She's here.
Yes. As the daughter of the Yashiro Commission, this is how Miss Kamisato is accustomed to receiving guests.
I understand.
Consider it a time-honored tradition within the Yashiro Commission. Forgive me if this is an unwelcome surprise.
I think I understand.
Makes sense. She's a super important person after all.
Of course.
Please forgive my lack of courtesy for receiving you in this fashion, especially following such a long and wearisome journey over the sea. I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation, and Toma assures me that you do indeed possess the power to change the tide of the At present in Inazuma, in the name of the Vision Hunt Decree, the people's aspirations are being senselessly trampled underfoot. Though the Yashiro Commission serves the Shogun, it is the people with whom we share close bonds, given the contact we are required to have with them in the performance of our duties. A commission's power rises and falls with the trust of their people. Thus, we cannot remain indifferent to this situation without also remaining indifferent to our own fate. Traveler, lend us your power, and we can...
We're not here for rebellion. We're here to meet with the Raiden Shogun herself.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
See, milady, it's just like I said. This will take us nowhere.
My apologies. We'll take our leave now.
No, please! Wait! Please, don't go!
What is it, my lady?
I will introduce you to the Raiden Shogun on one condition. You must fulfill 3 small wishes on my behalf.
What are your wishes?
They pertain to 3 whose visions were taken from them. Perhaps once you've met them, you will understand.
The 3 visionless people.
A warrior who guards a village, a former samurai who helped carry out the Vision Hunt Decree, and a swordmaster determined to become the best in the world. Does Paimon got that right?
Correct. Please do all you can to help them. I will await your return here.
We will do as you wish.
Then you have my gratitude.
I'm sure you'll do great.
I guess this is how it goes. If we want to meet with the Raiden Shogun, we have to do favors for them. So many favors. So much favors. I do kind of understand that the country itself does not have any able-bodied men to carry out such tasks. And considering that Aether is basically the big shot around this, around Teyvat, basically he's the one to handle all this. But alas, this is way too much. Let's take a look at the quest here. We have to find the village guardian who's lost his vision to Forgotten, so yeah. It looks like this story is gonna take a while to complete. So I'm thinking that we will call it a day for today's stream. It's already been a while now, so I think your prince is already tired out for now. So with that being said, we can call it a day for today's stream. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for more streams. So yeah. Alright then, so yeah. Your prince has already seen a lot. Your prince has already done a lot now, so I guess we'll have to wait until part 2 of the INAZUMA chapter now. So yeah, there's going to be a lot more to do, but as of now, I think we can call it a day for today. So yeah. Unfortunately, I would like to continue more, but now your prince is tired out and must rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright then. So with that being said, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more streams. Your prince bids you all adieu, and I will see you all next time.